And I think that's us live. Hello, good morning, welcome.
Oh.
Yay!
Hello, world.
We're here.
Alive!
We did it.
I know it's feeling late for you lot, but it's feeling extra early for me today for some reason. So, yeah, welcome. And things are probably going to be exciting today, or so we can hope.
What
Exciting
if,
in a good way?
Well, like,
what if they're not instead? What if we just...
I'm just
May you
it so-
Lord.
I'm just going to say, if this turns out to be boring as bark, that's cool too. It's up to you.
Alexandre sits down and has a cup of tea.
It's more of those. It's like may you live in interesting times. Kind of interesting.
Exactly. No, I mean,
Whoever said that, to anyone that's now living through 2020, I hope you're happy.
Like it's meant to be a curse.
Well,
It's not supposed to be a good thing.
Well, it is.
It is.
They've
Yes.
clearly done... I hope you're happy.
I'm just going to say,
Another wicked...
yeah.
Yeah.
I keep hearing it attributed to a translation of a Chinese proverb, but I don't know if that's factual or not. But it is, no matter where it comes from, it is absolutely funny.
I mean, I get it from Pratchett, but I'm pretty sure he got it from a translation of an ancient Chinese proverb.
Yeah. Well, Pratchett was terribly good for culture as a whole. Anyway, I think a friend of mine practically peed herself reading his memoir, and so bought me a copy of it. It's titled "A Slip of the Key." It's actually quite good. It's a bunch of anecdotes, dumb stories, little moments of time, according to Pratchett, as he's writing his stories, people he runs into at cons, dealing with his publisher, just the lunacy of being an author in general. It's really good. And, of course, it's written with Pratchett's signatory humor and a hat.
Nice.
So it's Pratchett being Pratchett about Pratchett, which is really, really funny. Alrighty, so let's we got everyone mostly ready to do the recap, and then we'll push the button and show the pretty pictures. We have a birthday surprise, extended birthday.
Extended, but it's birthday month. That's how that works, right?
Exactly,
That's how it works for me.
Yes, one day.
That's how I do it.
Well, I'm just going to say, when you get to 50 years old like I am, one day is simply not enough to celebrate the achievement of having lasted this long in spite of life's best attempts.
Exactly.
Well, for my recent birthday, my doctor now says, you're at an age where, with much more concern.
Oh, no.
Than he did 6 months ago. And I was just like, is there like a trigger in my file that tells you to do that? Like, it's day of and you've changed. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that, I guess.
All right.
He's not wrong, but
yeah. All right. So
I'm now worried because my doctors haven't said that and we're the same age.
No, you're not the same age at all.
I think I'm a little older than you.
You are not at all the same age, Jamie. You're younger than me.
Huh. I thought Sam was the same age as I am.
No.
Just my youthful good looks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just...
Nah. I mean, we're all ancient here anyway. None of us are spring chickens anymore.
Chantel's done. Good night.
Good night.
Left the room.
Wooden floors are my dream. Now I can be pushed on a horse.
Horses don't move like that.
If you push them hard enough.
I'm just going to say the one of you's Chantel's was riding did that the other evening. That was literally what as part of the game. It basically
Chevalier pushed the horse.
Went down again.
Was it funnier to imagine the horse just sliding? Yes. Yes, it was.
Very
Flips through the rope.
I'm just going to say very confused. No, we're not playing Cyberpunk. Very confused looking expression on the horse as it slides. but that doesn't happen. All right. Jasper, tell us a story.
Well, in the beginning.
Anal the one. sung a wonderful voice.
A long time ago in a land very far away. Yes. What? What happened last episode?
We did a lot of fighting.
Great start. Do we play?
Well, no, I mean, like, I know what happened, but it's like,
Jasper took a bit of a tumble, so he's made hit his head a bit hard.
Well, the thing is, like, how do you describe 30 seconds of action in 3 hours in 30 seconds?
I think in your case, it's fell off a roof, stabbed a wolf, yelled at people, jumped up, and left.
That's
your
it.
side.
You know what?
That's the whole
You know
thing.
what? We're just decidedly missing the bit where I landed an incredibly well placed shot on a ninja before I fell off the roof.
See,
Okay.
I knew as soon as I gave you something,
Yeah.
you'd find all kinds of things to talk about. So keep going now.
Exactly. And I didn't just stab a wolf. I eviscerated a werekin, a dire werekin, whatever these things are. It wasn't just like, shanking in the prison courtyard. I mean, it was kind of like that, but it hurt a lot. Yeah, and then everyone seemed to have things under control, so I jumped back up on the roof and started chasing the ninja guy who seemed to summon these werekin. And I shot him in the butt, and now he's slowed.
And I think there was an inhuman whale was the and that's with that's the WAIL, not
Oh,
HA.
Most whales are inhuman.
Yeah, if we had a
In
human,
England,
or it's a whale inside a human.
But only briefly.
New South Wales.
You're in a whale.
everyone get in touch with their inner whale.
I don't think I want to do that on camera.
Existential whale.
Yeah.
I mean,
Twitch doesn't allow it. Twitch is not okay.
It goes against Twitch's.
yeah. I mean, feel free to send me pics later, but
I mean, this
Here's a pic
this
of me
week has
touching
been a
my
bit
whale.
wild for Twitch anyway, right?
Oh,
I can't
man,
decide what to
sleep.
do about
sorry
censoring.
that was my '90s sailor moment. I deeply apologize. That was probably inappropriate.
Nah, you're fine. You opened yourself up, and your inbox is going to get stuff
Your
later.
inbox is now open to whales.
Whale mail.
Whale mail.
I'm not sure what to make of that statement. I have. There's always something I forget, and this time it's the bit where we actually have. Oh, there we are. Play notes and a battle tracker. There we are. Okay. So, is there anything else that Jasper would like to contribute to this enlightening discussion? We'll use that phrase.
No, that sounds about right.
All right. As a counterpoint, let's immediately shift over to Chevalier.
While trying to get Ramiki to relative safety, we were ambushed by some street thugs, I guess, who were quickly dispersed, but at that same moment, a portal opened up ahead of us, possibly caused by the mystical Molotov. I don't know what we're calling it.
I think Mystical is an excellent name.
They likely connected, but could just be a coincidence, all things considered. And from this portal stepped three of the largest werekin any of us had ever seen. Though we were able to quickly dispatch two of the beasts and seriously wound the third, at which point the person directing them to kill decided to try to take matters into her own hands and stepped through the portal, revealing herself to be an old acquaintance, enemy. She attacked us in a barn. I knew her name last week and I'm blanking on it now. It's not, I want to say Genevieve, but it's not actually Genevieve.
Hang on,
Jennifer?
I'll throw it. I'll throw it into the Twitch chat because you did have it right last week. Yes, for sure. if maybe my computer would actually do copy paste, because that's difficult. There we go.
Genevieve.
And yeah, I think I'd recently seen it on the website, and I was like, oh, I saw that name recently.
Yes.
But yeah, the lady who had led the group that tried to, at the time, it seemed that they were intent on capturing Alexandre and myself. Mm-hmm. Now it seems she is more interested in killing Alexandre. We're not clear on what has prompted this change. Possibly irritation at her earlier defeat, possibly whatever they wanted to do with capturing her had a limited window which has expired. But that is not overly important. More, she's trying to kill her now. That is the important point. Jasper is chasing something that none of us have seen. I'm sure he's fine. Ish.
I'm sure this couldn't possibly go wrong.
Do I hear Morgan Freeman's voice saying that I'm lying? I don't know. It's really weird.
He was, in fact, not okay.
Yeah. Lucas, thoughts, comments, observations, witticisms?
Oh, I fought with the song.
Did it fight back?
Yeah, it's phrasing.
I think we teamed up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was fighting rather splendidly with my sword, and then out of I don't know, maybe curiosity, also remembrance of a long ago, but not too recently, not too far away, battle with a robot that was done in a field as a training exercise, inspired to try and use the song in order to try and do a bit of damage. And it worked.
Very good.
I think that's really all that I did.
I think you bisected a large wolf monster,
Oh yes, no, I definitely
tail.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely did quite a bit of damage
with said song empowerment.
And it was rather splendid and heroic, and through said efforts, managed to heal someone somehow. Because I'm an inspiring champion as well. It's all. I know, I keep using those words. Whether or not people believe me, the mechanics say that I am, so.
The mechanics say I have to be.
And then this familiar person stepped out of the portal, which, unsurprisingly, was more concerned with Alexandre, because generally Alexandre is the reason that things turn up and try to kill us.
Look.
Since you're speaking, Alexandre, keep speaking.
I don't know why she's here. I didn't do it. I didn't beat her in any kind of fight.
Excuse me. Your sunglasses. You've forgotten your sunglasses.
My sunglasses. You're correct.
I know, I'm the GM.
Okay, so let's talk.
The part of Alexandre this evening will be played by J-Lo. I mean...
Yes. So, on this entire journey, I have been pretty quiet, pretty good, pretty well behaved. And I have done my best not to hurt anyone. It hasn't always worked. I tried. Now someone has turned up, and okay, I have a problem with a lot of words, but I have a particular problem with the word witch. Why witch? What is witch? Why does everyone call me a witch?
Which witch is what?
I'm not a witch. Anyway, Lucas used the song. I'm very happy. I may possibly have run into the center of all of the working. Things happen. I'm trying to keep people safe. Yes, I don't know what she wants. I don't want to hurt her, but I think she wants to hurt me. And I'm not sure why. So, I could probably ask, but if she just decides to kill me instead of answering the question, it doesn't answer the question.
Okay. All right, then. Everyone ready to get started on today's adventure?
Bring
I
it.
think so.
All right, then. So let's switch over to the gaming table. And now this is the part where we get a little experimental. I would ask everyone's patience as we get going here. So here's our map. That's up on the stream. Good. Now I just want to make sure the dice camera is going to work. Yes, it is. Oh, it got bumped. 1 sec while I adjust that, and that goes there. There we are. Cool. So yeah, okay, everything's mostly in working order. So, define which. Exactly. All right. All we're going to be doing with the virtual tabletop is just using it so people. It's just a lot less hand waving about where people is. Drew had requested a map, so we've got a map. We're not going to roll dice here. We're going to stick with dice hand rolled. We're not going to hit point tracking and all that still on paper with yourselves. If we decide this is kind of cool and it just lifts off. Sorry, you're muted. I can't hear you, Sam.
Oh, no, I was being silly.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
You were like, you were saying you had to track hit point. I was like, hit point tracking.
Yeah, exactly. All the awkwards. All right. So we're going to give it a try, see how it goes. If we decide it's just irritating us, we'll turn it off and just go back to hand waving. And if it turns out to be fun, we won't. So the first thing that has to happen here is...
she just falls over and she's unconscious. Like that's step one, right?
Gives up.
That is not, in fact, how that works.
That's fortunate for us.
I just because Chantel mentioned it, wasn't Chantel over where Lucas was?
Well, actually, that was going to be the question. I literally did this at 1 o'clock in the morning, my time, having only a vague clue of the concept of time and space at that point. So... So yes, this is sort of as close as I could get off my memory. But yes, I think Chantel had ran over to Lucas. That seems right to me.
I feel like she's more like here.
I'm
probably
totally okay with that. I am totally okay with that. So the purple...
You would think she wouldn't go so close to the portal, but apparently that's entirely exactly what she did.
I was just going to say, yeah, why wouldn't she do that? It's her.
Totally.
Yeah.
Let me just check.
You might think that, wouldn't you?
Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay. That's fine. I'm going to dial that up just a little bit because that's better. And done. Okay, cool. All right. So the purple splat is the area that got gooed when the Gin Genie was thrown, or the mystical Molotov, or whatever you want to call it. The greenish glowy bit is the rough area where the portal is. It's basically it's at a proper 90-degree angle to the road itself. Actually, a better way of putting it, it's at a proper 90. Yeah, it's at a proper 90-degree angle to the road itself, except for the part where the fringes and glowy bits always seem to be at a 90-degree angle to whoever's looking at it, which is really disconcerting. So, and otherwise, I think that's pretty much the relatively close. As I said, the squares are 3 meters, 10 feet, because, again, I was doing this at silly o'clock in the morning because I was panicking and got the scale wrong. Instead of 5-foot squares, I did 10s. So... we'll deal. But like I say, the whole point of this
You're all
is just
very tall.
Yeah, well, so the idea is just literally it's roughly here, it's roughly there in a way that's a whole lot easier. Yeah, so that we have it. And are we mostly ready to go, do you think, folks?
Yes, our frame rate has dropped on stream.
Frame rate has dropped. At my end, it's claiming 30 FPS.
I was wondering if that was on my end or if it was the stream.
Download, but it's the stream that I'm watching as opposed to Zoom, which is fine.
Yeah.
So I know Zoom's pretty low cost anyway, but
Yeah, nah, we're having a little bit of network foo-foo here from the look of it. It's actually on
Okay.
my end, so we'll see.
network
So,
foo-foo.
all right, so the first thing that has to happen is that Genevieve has to roll her initiative. So that is agility and a d20. So we're going to do that. So d20 and a d10.
Can she roll double ones? That would be nice.
And
It just stacks on.
I'm just going to say she doesn't get any advantage on her initiative. So that is a 4, which is not a great start for her. And that is a 4, so she's going on an 8, which is...
She's going with me.
Yeah, so obviously interplanar transitions are hard on people. So, all right.
Fine, I'll do this, Mike. Ooh, hang on.
I'll do this myself.
This is the reason I didn't want to do this myself.
Yeah.
I hate
So-
I hate getting plane sick.
It sounds like we have an apology due to the Wiccan then, who managed to actually do stuff.
That's why they were so cranky.
All right, and then just give me a second.
Frame rate has dropped again.
Okay, we may. I even went so far as to reboot the house internet this morning. So
Is Foundry? Have you got Foundry running very high on frame rate?
that could be it.
Because I've just pulled mine down to like
Yes.
20.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Configure settings. Frame. Oh gosh, yes, I'm sitting at 60 FPS. 20 is fine, thanks. For what we're doing, and save.
Where do you do that on Foundry?
So what? it is-
Configure settings.
Yes,
the little
you have the
cog.
little cog wheel off it, and game settings, and then there's a whole bunch of other things we can talk about later if you want to get into it. But yes, dialing the frame rate down on Foundry saves a lot of grief because it's using WebGL, which is actually using your graphics card to do that. So that'll be a thing. Okay, so. All right, so
Just giving stream a moment to catch up to us.
exactly. Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, and we can turn the dice view off. We'll go back to the pretty pictures. And do I need to zoom that out a bit? I think I do. So we'll do this, and we'll just tack that there. We don't need the macro bar in the way. That'll get out of the way there. Okay. So, there is a remaining Werkin, it seems to me. Yep, and he goes on 60, because that was a ridiculous roll of his. He is dotted for a d4, so let's just roll that. Because that could very well just kill him right there. And that's a 2. So, okay. That doesn't kill him, but he's looking, as Weir can go, he's looking paler than most. Right. And that's his act. So then what is the Weirkin going to do? Let me take a look real fast. I mean, I think the obvious answer is... oh, that's right. He just got absolutely shanked by Ramiki, who basically knocked off half his hit points in one shot. I was watching the replay for a bit yesterday just to make sure I had a couple things right. Yes, that's right. Ramiki just trashed half his hit points in one hit. I think he's probably a little upset about that. I'm thinking that's the thing.
Oh no.
So, yeah, I think...
No.
So he gets 40 feet of movement, which means he has plenty of room to do.
I mean, he'll get an opportunity attack from me if he tries.
No, he can walk around you.
But Ramiki backed up, so he'd have to leave my.
Yeah, she was up here by the rope. She backed up to where she's at, took the shot.
Okay.
Right.
I thought she backed up further.
No. Again, the squares are 10 feet, so there's a little bit of wibbly wobbly going on here. But for simplicity, we're going to say that he can stand beside you.
And still hit her.
Yeah, I mean, technically, he's got enough move. Technically, here is still beside you, but that feels awkward. So just because they're not 5 foot squares, so I'm going to say he moves there to attack, which leaves him squarely in your grasp, and there's no question. So he's actually just going to. What makes?
I think it technically went to I think Chevalier is on the cusp of it, but you sort of once you get to around 7 foot, you become like a large creature, and you have a 10-foot reach. So
yeah.
It's probably just
yeah. Pretty close. I think he's just going to use Savage Claws on her and be done with it, which is 2d8 melee, advantage 2. So...
And she's got +6 to her guard.
Why is that?
Because I have put the resistance boon onto her.
Aha, very good. All right. Her guard isn't great because her armor's not fantastic, but she's also bluntly she's used to people trying to murder her for whatever that means. So let's just.
It's hard being famous.
It absolutely is.
Do I have to bring the glasses back? Because yes, it is.
All right, 2d8 advantage 2. Let's see what we get. D20 first. And that's a 17, so he bypasses her guard immediately. Guard, you said 4 points of guard or 6 points of guard?
6.
Okay, so her 14 is now at 20. That's good. So first die is a 2. That's another 2. And let's see what the advantage dice do. That's a 1 and another 1. So, that is a 17 plus 4 is a 21. He tags her for 3 points of damage.
I'm going to use the guard action.
All right.
I don't want it to. I wanted to use my action on my turn for something else, but I don't particularly want her to take damage.
She's uninjured, okay?
Yeah, but
and 3 points. If 3 points shouldn't do anything awful to her. But I mean, if it's role play the right answer, go for it.
That's it, right? The job is the job.
Yep.
Job is the job.
What did the wolf roll again? 20 what?
17 plus 4 is 21.
21. All right. Math. That's 14. 24, 29. All right, I rolled 29.
Okay, so that just bounces. So you basically dive into the way of the attack.
Yes. Well, I've actually...
a couple of your drones go rocketing off and punch this thing's...
Well, I've actually got... Because so you said 21. So I've got a fun little thing.
Mm-hmm, sure, go.
That I've not gotten to use yet because we've not been in combat. But last time we got experience, I took Battlefield Retribution, which means... It means that if I roll more, if I take the defend action and my roll is higher than their roll, I do damage equal to the difference.
Oh, nice. You take this thing's head off.
So I think as it tries to dive past me, it's sort of the Hulk with Loki moment. He sort of turns around, just grabs it by the ankle and swings back round.
Yeah.
Just brings it back. It's like, no.
And I quote, yoink.
And then just
Add puppy.
Just bounces it off the pavement.
Yeah, exactly. And that finishes it. It only had 1 health left.
Jeez.
Yeah. No, she straight up damn near killed it with her last shot. So... all right, so let me get him off the map. Bad puppy. Puppy goes away. There we are. All right. So that is, and Werekin at 60 goes. V, oops, don't do that. V has just used his action.
Yeah, but I have some other stuff.
You have some other stuff. What other stuff?
Well, I want to move up to interpose myself as best I can between this lady and Alexandre.
Sure. Yep. Movement is free.
Think I can. I don't know where I need.
I was just going to say, for what we'll just do here, for argument's sake, is it's not like she can stop you. I'm just going to arbitrarily move her token back a square and put you in between, like that.
Oh, okay. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Makes sense to me.
I would also like to try to remember, because last time we fought her, we were in a different set of mechanics.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to try and recall the spells that she used to attack us and essentially try and figure out what kind of damage type they do now.
Yeah, this is going to get a little bit awkward, so I'm going to ask you to make a learning roll. And let's see, here we go.
It was actually pretty good. All right, that's 26.
26. All right. So the last time you saw her, the translation, if you will, was she was mostly using entropy and energy.
Right. Right. All right. That's not unexpected. But I might need to change the boons when I have an action spare.
Right.
Which I don't currently. So we're just going to maintain the one we have and see what happens. I might have to change the damage type it's protecting.
Yeah.
When I have a moment.
And so I need to wiggle a bad guy very quickly here. Just one sec.
Just shimmying bad guys around.
Well, yeah, you know, it's a thing. He is slowed, so he only gets 2 squares of movement. That puts him there. And then that brings us to Mr. Spider. All right. Now, what's happening here is an artifact of the line of sight mechanism. So just give me a moment. I'm going to essentially turn some walls off so that Spider has the ability to see through walls. Because why wouldn't Spider have that ability?
Tracks.
That's a dangerous one to give Spider.
Definitely tracks, though.
Yeah. Shift, and then we'll click, and we'll click.
Turns out the song is just opering powers around.
And then
You get
a power.
You get a power.
update.
It's a ring that channels that power, and then if you combine... Wait a second, that's something else.
All right. So you should be able to see over the roof a bit better now. Still not quite right. Give me a moment while I adjust. What one did... Oh, it's this hunk of wall didn't get changed. That's dumb. Perception, none. So that's effectively... Basically, I'm just literally on my side turning those walls to glass. They're still there, but you can see through them now. And what I'm going to ask Spider to do is to make a perception check, or the equivalent. Yeah, it is perception. I'm roughing 3 different systems in any given week right now, so trying to remember which system calls what who.
Okay, sure. A 24.
A 24. All right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, that is more than enough to see this guy. Just one sec while I do something here. I'm going to...
I must have been able to see him because I shot him.
Yes, exactly. But that was in the era of Handwavium. So just give me a moment, because what I'm actually going to do...
6 seconds ago.
Yes, exactly.
Wavium, we have crossed
I'm going to do
through the portal.
this and click the button, and we'll do that, and we will do this because I think it's interesting. and then close, and then if I come back here, I think... Do you see the pulsing red light on the edge of the map that has just appeared for you, Spider?
I can see the light, yes, but not...
He's over that way. You can see his movement, but you do not have line of sight with him. So you shot him, and he's over that way somewhere.
I'm now very confused. How can I have shot him without being...
He moved since you shot him. He moves at the beginning of the round. So you shot him.
Oh, okay.
The Werekin moved, he moved, and he's ducked himself out of sight because someone keeps shooting him in the butt. Right?
Yeah.
And so taking cover for an intelligent creature seemed intelligent.
Yeah. So did he then make a save against being slowed as well?
I forgot that. By the way,
so his speed would have been halved, but then it's...
Yeah, so then, yes, that's right. He gets a saving throw.
He just rolls a straight D20.
Yeah. So, yes, straight D10. D20, 10 or higher, he shrugs off the bane. For the folks at home, by the way, watching either real-time or on the VOD, the view you're getting on the screen normally is the everybody view. So while it's really obvious that the bad guy is over here to you folks at home, this is actually what Spider sees. And so you can just see that what he's got is this little glow, which is to represent that he's seen movement over that way as the guy's gone parkouring over the roof, but there's actually no line of sight. All right, so if you're wondering, it's not that poor Muffin here is being thicker than usual. It's that I'm a nasty GM and have actually prevented him from seeing his quarry. So let's see.
If he moved, would he get a resistance roll? Wait, no. You can use your action as a move. I'm being silly. No worry.
He rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
Okay, well, he's not slow anymore.
No, I'm just going to say, so yes, so he's lost his slow, but he took his movement, did the Bane reduction, so he's no longer slowed. So he's back up to full movement. I will make a note of that. And then, so like I say, so what Spider is able to determine with that remarkably good perception check is he's hearing sounds that away. He's seeing a roof tile go skittering off, things like that. So, he's clearly hiking cross country across roofs, much in the way that Spider's used to.
Okay, I am not able to move my token.
Yes, because you're on a roof. So which way would you like to go?
In the direction that the guy ran.
Sure. So now, if you get over to here again, one sec, while I fix some walls, because you've got an entirely different view of the world than everybody else does.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, that might be true regardless of the situation.
Yes, that issue with our dear Spider. Yes. So we'll do this wall perception. Hang on a sec. None and none. I will actually just set these to be non-restrictive walls because Spider and company. And then that. And I'll do the same thing here. Oops, no, not you. Movement restrictions, none as well, so you guys can run over roofs to your heart's content. If you're going to jump off the side of a building, I'll need to make that movement because jumping off the side of the building involves, potentially breaking your neck and things like that. And then none and none.
Never been a problem before.
Something.
There's always been working to catch you.
something 5 minutes ago. And right, okay, yeah, you can. There's that bit. So I'm just going to make this there. Oops. That. And that is perception none. And update wall. There. I think now you and this wall here also needs to be updated. This is the awkward bit about thieves running across rooftops. The little details like privacy cease to exist. So there you go. Right? So that is the Spider view of the universe.
All right.
So you can see what the problem is, right? You can say again?
Is he still on the roof or has he jumped down?
He's on the roof. What he's taking advantage of is he's basically he's almost to the corner. If you take a look at sort of the artwork, the roof is basically, it's almost pyramidal in structure. So what's happened is that you're looking square at the flat of the roof and he's hugging around the chimney pots and stuff like that to keep line of sight broken. So he's just about to go diving off the side. Because he was restricted, he didn't get to the alley on the other bit. But he's just about to go diving off the roof into the another movement phase. He's going to go diving off the roof into the alley, quite likely.
Well, I refuse to believe that the same thing can go bad twice. I'm going to jump from this roof to the next.
All right.
So I have the Great Leap, feat, and agility specialty. So I have advantage 2 on this one.
All right.
That is a much better roll. In fact, it's a near inhuman roll because both my 6s exploded.
Fantastic.
So 12 plus 18 is 30.
Yeah.
Plus 7 is 37.
37 feet. So you can basically jump from where you come tearing across the roof. As you say, inhuman ability. Just grab some massive air. You can essentially land in melee range of this guy if you want.
Indeed, I'm going to land on him.
All right, then. So that is agility versus guard, if that is your cunning plan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just got, well, yeah, I mean, I don't mean literally going to tackle him, but I'm going to land and stab him with...
Because I've been totally fine with you doing that, by the way.
I see that. No, I mean... I'm going to sort of land, but as I'm doing so, I'm pulling the cane sword out midair to do like a samurai slash on him.
I like that. Yeah, sure. Just one sec.
Do I want to? Sorry, I'm just thinking about whether I want to do a bane attack or a normal attack. No, let's just go. Let's go for broke. It'll just be a normal attack. All right, advantage 1. How's a 14 versus guard?
Let me double check his guard. I think his guard is 16. Let me just double check that. I'm fussing.
It probably is if he's got decent agility, which I imagine he does.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Something being stupid here. There we go, and that. I just realized there's a way to get around the problem about me having completely hosed the map scale. There, 5-foot tokens. So I'll fix everyone else's token here in just a moment. So you are literally in the same 10-foot square as he is, but you battling away on the edge of the roof just because I think that's dramatic. There we are, and this guy, where's my... guard is 16 for this chap, yes.
All right. Yeah. Well, I don't manage to hurt him.
He is. Yes, he's wearing some sort of under his flowing robes. He's clearly wearing something metallic because he just basically goes for the arm block. And you think, you idiot, I'm going to lop your arm off. And then there's this very pronounced clang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that brings us now. To Lucas. So the first thing we're going to do is scroll over here. Give me a moment. I'm going to make some quick adjustments on tokens because I just realized that I can set everyone's token scale to half, which literally makes them 5-foot tokens.
Yes.
Which means that you can put 4 tokens in a square, which is going to be much more representative of what's actually happening here. So just give me a moment to do that. And there, image, 0.5, 0.5, update, because it makes way more sense to have Alexandri and Chevalier in the same square, because that's what he was trying to achieve. Just give me a moment. I won't be long.
I mean, if you leave it like that, it's actually represents... Okay.
So I think this is actually much more what's going on. Let me fix her token as well.
So you could argue that Chevalier actually does take up a 10 by 10 square.
Yeah, I was just going to say if he was a little bit bigger, I would agree with you. I think
like he's literally on the thing. It's like the suggestion is like 7 to 10 foot, and he's literally dead on 7.
Yeah.
So it's like. It's always been too much effort.
I was just going to say, well, yeah, I mean, for lack of a better way of putting it, I'm okay with saying that's the case, but it does cause other problems. So, including, doors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not been something we've been doing up to now.
Yeah.
We can certainly do it going forward.
Yeah, like I say, I'm okay with it either way. It's your character. If you think that's the right flavor for the character, I'll make him occupy. I can actually technically make him occupy a 7-foot square because.
I don't like the idea that a battle map is dictating our story.
Yes.
So there we go. Here we go. And there, you can have a 7.
I think Chevalier should just be as big as Chevalier is, and if that's big enough to be there in a battle map, then it is. If it's not for a door, it's not for a door.
Oh, this is the conversation we had like right at the beginning when I was realized that he's actually on that.
Yeah, that is actually. So this is actually a 7-foot Chevalier.
Yeah,
no, we're not.
That's great.
Not going to stop him from going through doors. He can clearly turn sideways. Okay.
It's not about size.
Yes.
It's about how you use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Forcefully with precision.
Yes, exactly.
And that's Chevalier.
Oh, we've all had one.
Mm-hmm.
We had one Chevalier.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Tramp. Right. So.
Hey. Only a little bit.
Lucas, what are you up to, my friend?
Okay.
So the last of the Werekin lays in a crater of his own making. V has charged over to protect Alexandre. Your brother has gone charging off over the roof, yelling something about a ninja, and Ramiki is still poised on the back of the warhorse. That your brother found in the process of slotting a new crossbow bolt into position, ready to apparently open fire.
Okay. See, this woman that's just appeared, I didn't recognize her from my last roll. Can I do a little bit? Can I use a minor action to try and figure out who she is?
Oh, absolutely, it's a learning roll.
Learning? Learning. Lucas is not so great at this. Okay. I do have a D4.
Who the hell are you?
Yeah, sure. He's standing there, really.
Well, that was a 12.
I think a 12. Let's just check here. I think the definition of a 12 is literally it's a trivial action. 12. So every day. 15 would be challenging. I think it's been. Keep in mind, for us it's been a year. For you lot, it's been 3 months. Right. You know, and it's been less than 3 months in point of fact.
Yeah, has it even been that?
Yeah, I think it's been close. I think it's closer to 2 months than it is 3.
Yeah.
Yes, I too experienced 2020. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's roughly the ratio. Yeah,
that's about right.
I'm just going to say yes. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we're 3 months from March again. And now that you've had your existential trauma for the day,
I don't want it.
3 months from March in any direction.
Yeah, any direction.
Oh, jeez, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I'm in this picture.
Beware the Ides of March.
So I think yes, you distinctly remember because she was really the first fight that you and your brother had on the road after you had met your then just recently acquainted traveling companions. You basically didn't know much about them at all. I think once you had Chevalier scare off a couple of bandits that didn't even amount to an encounter, which is to say, "Aha, you, the pretty girl, give us your purse," followed by Lucas going, "Really, idiot? I'm right here," followed by Chevalier picking their horse up, and that was the end of the encounter. So the real first encounter that happened was the fight at the barn. So yes, and the Werekin. And Lucas is a warrior. He keeps a catalog of the things he's fought. He's encountered Werekin and a red-haired woman exactly once prior. Okay.
Yep. It's in his diary.
Yeah, I think a 12 is more than enough to go, I don't remember your name, but I know you're not good news.
Great. With that in mind, I'm not going to try and kill her.
No, that would be tacky.
Yeah. So I'm going to do essentially a big show. I'm going to try and demoralize her. in order to just, essentially just make
Just gonna
her.
mock her.
Yeah,
We beat you.
yeah, totally. Well, I mean, like looking at all the Werekin around, I think it's obvious that Chevalier and Lucas were the ones that were doing most of the. So I think with a big flashy maneuver with my sword, maybe throwing a bit of flashy song and dance.
You've still got that boon.
I'm kind of do the demoralized Bane attack.
Sure, go ahead.
What are you using for it?
Well,
Because if you will use the song and you use energy for it, then you have the boon, which is an advantage.
oh, okay.
It depends on if you use energy.
Yeah, okay. I'll use energy. Well, I mean, it's the same as might. So, for me, so yeah, advantage 1.
All right.
We're not fighting the same warrior you fought before. I have become the legend.
Don't give Lucas ideas.
Please give Lucas ideas.
So, so you know how well I was rolling last time?
No.
Yes.
What did you
I
do?
remember that. You were rolling remarkably well.
I got a 10
You got a 10. Okay.
Like overall or on one of the dice?
overall. So it was all going great.
Right up until you tried something. Yep. So she has Bane Resistance, which gives her a tier 1, which gives her +5. You are attacking her what? What does
Resolve.
her resolve? Oh, right. Resolve is a 21. So she gets a +5 on that. Her target number is a 27 for
Jeez.
demoralize. She kind of looks at you and, I'm not the warrior you fought before. She says, no, you've just gotten worse.
Can I just leave?
Alexandre doesn't want to respect her, but
This week, a different brother takes 1d8 pride damage.
Hashtag pride damage over here.
Oh, that burns.
you didn't want to kill her, and that's what happened. I just want to point that out.
So you didn't want to kill her, so she slew you. Alexandre.
A question. Is using Whisper of the Wild a minor action or a major one, given essentially I'm trying to learn something?
I'm going to say literally communing with the raw force of nature literally is everything you can do in that instant is an action. You are literally eyes closed, engrossed in the cosmos.
Makes sense. Okay. In that case, I will. She was the first person, possibly the only person that I remember who actually has hurt Alexandre.
Yes, she's clocked her a couple of times with a lightning bolt, either a magic missile or a lightning bolt, as I recall. There we go.
The hellfire thingy.
Hellfire bitch. Gonna use silenced on her.
Sure.
I don't want her to be able to speak. And this time I am trying to do what I did to Spider, as opposed to not trying to. When Alexandre used silenced on Spider, it strangled him. Alexandre is actively trying to do that this time, as opposed to I just wanted to shut up. She's actively trying to do it this time.
Use the dark side.
Look,
Or in your case,
the answer to that is yes.
or in your case, the bass clef.
Use the bass. I'm gonna drop the bass.
You're welcome.
Let's drop.
The song takes on a different tenor.
And let me just double check, because I know I have an extraordinary focus.
It takes on a different
just
tenor.
wanna double-
It suddenly starts sounding like Botticelli. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's roll that.
So what are you targeting for her?
It would be her toughness.
Toughness. Okay. Your target number is 23. Again, she has bane.
And no.
She has a bane resistance on that as well.
Right. That does not work.
Bane resistance on that as well.
Yep. She.
Gross.
Yep. It turns out casters being silenced is really, really bad for the caster. So
It is, yeah.
Ooh, no, it makes sense. It's just like
so I mean, no, it's only the tier 1 version, but yeah. So it's
But
just
still,
it's plus
it-
5. So
I rolled in a.
I just don't like my enemies
13.
cleverly picking which banes to be resistant to.
Yeah, how dare they go through actual character creation? What is this?
How dare they re resistance to the banes we use?
How dare they match us in ability?
yeah, awkward how all
just
that
not
plays
it.
out, doesn't it? Anything else?
She
Alex?
is not silenced.
Anything else?
I'm going to stay where I am, safely behind Chevalier.
Okay, sounds good. She gets to move.
Oh, actually, can I yell something at her?
Of course you can. Yelling is
Okay.
a free action.
Free action of yelling.
Now, please understand, no quoting Anna Karenina or War and Peace. Okay, keep it short.
All right.
It was the worst of times.
What the fuck do you want?
Okay, then. She's going to look at you, pull out what looks like this. Literally, it's sort of hooked into her belt is this coil of rope with what looks to be a dagger attached to the end of it, and off the other side will come this utterly vile-looking. It's. Once upon a time, that edge was silver, actually made of silver, and it has killed so many times it has become encrusted in death. And she holds that in her other hand. She will smile sweetly at you. Everything. And then she's just going to, without even looking, throw the rope, the knife on a rope towards Lucas. That is Chain of Slaughter.
Okay, bye,
I
everyone.
don't like it when it has a name.
So it is energy versus guard. Her energy roll. Where did I put it?
This is not the kind of rope-a-dope I was expecting.
As 3d8. Let's see. So it's so yes, it's 3d8 versus Lucas's guard. Let's see what comes out of this. Oops. So she starts out with a 7 on the d20, which is not great news for her. That's a 1. She does not have advantage on this, so it's just 3d8. That's a 6. And she rolls a 1. Not a great start, so her total there is 13, 15. What's your guard, you said?
21.
21. So, for lack of a better way of putting it, she embeds the dagger into the middle. You have a shield, right?
Yep.
She embeds the dagger in the middle of your shield and pulls back on it hard enough. It actually partially jerks the shield away from you. You managed to hang on to it, but it was very clear that if she hit you, she was going to literally be reeling you in over to where she's at, and she had the sickle ready to swing at you as you came over.
Oh, glad I got out of that one.
Yeah, and she kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, maybe you're not as bad as I thought." Like she fully expected you to be dead just now.
Yeah, I did too. That's
I mean,
Okay, so
why didn't she bring that back in the barn? She might have won.
no, right? She's learned some things. She's got some tricks.
She's done some learning.
yeah, she's done some learns. So
She's leveled up.
No,
so that brings us.
This isn't her final form.
This brings us to.
the NPCs are sentient.
This brings us to Ramiki, who in true Ramiki form yells, "Excuse me, I'm the diva," and pulls the trigger.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, you are.
Why?
So she's back here. That's
Yes.
she is. So, but I mean, it just seems such a easy thing to do. So she's rolling a
It
D4.
does. It's just,
Queen. Yes.
Excuse me, I'm the diva.
I appreciate.
Yeah. So that's a
I'm
D4.
sorry.
It's a D20 plus 1D4 for her crossbow shot.
you should be targeting me with the death
She
weapon.
misses. She just misses completely. Yeah, she totals out on a 5. But yeah.
Ooh.
So I bumped the dice before I showed it to the camera. My apologies. So she rolls a 5. So the crossbow bolt goes whistling by, and Genevieve doesn't even pay attention to her. It's like, yeah, whatever.
I love it. I'm the diva.
Damage. Okay.
She yells, "I'm the diva," and shoots an arrow like backwards.
Like I say, I'm just going to say, by definition, we came within a few feet of her, but it just was, whatever.
The amount of estrogen on this battle map right now.
That's what was in the container.
That's what it does. Tendrils of smoky
Radius.
purple estrogen.
Yes.
All right. Genevieve kind of looks at the dart at the end of the rope and says, "Fine," and just tries again.
Great.
By the way, this is an actual boss fight. She is boss 4, which means she gets 4 actions.
Of course she does.
Good. Yes.
As soon as you said
Yes.
3d8, I was like, yeah.
I'll
That's a
keep
few
this
steps above what we are.
So you folks are actually going to have to do.
I'm glad there's 4 of us here, definitely taking her on. All
yeah. Isn't that really lucky that all of us are present?
Yeah, we haven't split the party at all.
The party would be bad. We would never split.
It would be such an awful thing to do, Jamie.
14 and 7 is
Roleplay.
21.
Oh, she hits me.
Is 21, 25. So she's so the effect. It's actually a bane, is what it is. It doesn't do damage. It's quote just a bane. So what it does is drags you 10 feet towards her, and automatically knocks you down.
Okay.
So you are you are here now. Literally, she's just dragging you along the ground towards her.
Yeah.
All right. And then on her next action, she's going to just walk over the last few feet and hit you with a sickle.
Bye, everyone.
Nope.
You're fine.
All right.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be fine.
Just
fine.
Won't likely be dead this round.
Unlikely to be dead this round. Says
yeah.
GM.
Look at it that way, right?
Reaper's Hand Sickle, she has advantage 4. She's rolling 1d10 to hit. This is really not what she's good at. So
Advantage 4. This isn't what she's good at.
She's good at. What?
That's why she has such the powerful magical item. It's the mage is buffing up the parts that she's not good at.
Yep, yeah, no, I see.
We need to cut the magical item off her.
there's an 8. That's a double 0, so that's an exploding 10. So we'll fuss with that in a moment. Oops. Dice cam here. Went off the surface. We'll roll that again. That's a 7. I think the exploding 10 will likely be the winner of this. The base D20 is an 18. And that's another exploding 10. So she only gets to roll one of the... So she's only rolling 1d10. So only one of those d10 actually explode. So we'll just... okay, so she's at 28. Let's see where the... so she's at 28, and I'll leave a 10 on the table here. So yeah, 28. We'll get that off here, actually, and it's going to be easier. 28 plus 5 is a 32, is her total roll. What is your guard?
21.
21, so she's going to hit you for 7. And...
No. Isn't it 32? It's 11.
Oh, yes, sure, yes, 11. Mike. I'm not quite done my first coffee, but that is.
I mean, you can make it 7 if you want. I'm happy to have.
No,
they rhyme. It's
it's important to have the math right. It is absolutely important. Right. So that is going to be 11 lethal.
That's not great.
Oh, that's less than pleasant.
Actually, no. It's 11 damage. It's actually no. It's 10. It's 11 damage, 10 lethal. She caps at 10. I read it wrong.
Oh, that's better.
And then she's going.
Ow. Okay.
And then she's going to do it again.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
So 4d10. And a 19. Good grief. That's a 5.
Unlikely to be dead this round was called.
I was just going to say that's an exploding.
Hard to actually kill people in this game.
It is.
And yet.
So that's okay.
Having said that.
So she's at 29, plus an exploding, and the 10 explodes. Let's see what comes up. Would you believe that's a 9. So 28 and 9 is 37. Your guard was?
21.
21. 16 points. So you're going to take 16 points, another 10 lethal.
Okay.
What health do you have, Lucas?
I'm still alive.
And she just literally walks over and it's chop, chop, chop. And for lack of a better way of putting it, and I think this is going to be just because Chevalier looks at the universe through a very particular set of eyes, that's just way more blood than that attack actually. Like, literally, it looks like something out of a slasher movie. It is... Like, there's way more blood hitting the floor than any of those attacks with a little hand sickle warrants. And she's laughing. And she's laughing, her eyes are glittering, and she says, "My mistress revels in the moment." All right, and that brings us up to the next initiative round. How are we doing? Does anyone need a break?
Yes, please.
Sure.
I just need to go and pour another drink.
Pour another
You're
kill.
going to say change your pants.
And
I was going to say, because, I mean, we've been on the air now for about an hour and 10. So if folks want to take a quick break, fill up your mugs and grab snacks, do that, and then we'll get on to the next round. Work for you?
And when we come back, I'll reveal to you how much HP I have left.
Oh, no, tell me now. I want to know now.
It's few.
I'm just going to say, I think it's an excellent time to press this button. Okay, so we're back. Fresh mug of hot cocoa for me.
I've already finished mine. So much stress.
I was just going to say, so you're being extra 2020. You're not bothering with the glass. Got it.
Got the pop sound that time. Oh yeah.
I do like that microphone.
Ain't she great?
I'm thinking I got to get me one of those.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, then. So, let's go back and talk about Mr. Ninja Dude. Hey there, Mr. Ninja Dude. Who
Hello,
really doesn't
Ninja Dude.
want to get involved in a brawl with some nut job who thinks running across roofs in the dark is a perfectly reasonable action. You're one of those sort of inherent rules of combat is never get into a fight with anyone who's crazier than you. Why are you chasing me in the dark over rooftops? Oh, right, you're one of those.
Never get into a fight with
Literally
someone crazier than you.
I am one of those.
Is that all of our fights?
All right.
I'm pretty sure Spider has a big old shit-eating grin on his face right now.
As opposed to when he does.
Yeah.
Right then. I think he would much rather just you leave him the fuck alone than actually get into a fight on a rooftop with a lunatic. I think is his theory on things. So he's going to whirl around it. So you guys are basically locked in combat. He blocks the attack. You rip into his sleeve. You hear the clang of the metal armor underneath it. He looks at you and says, "Boo." And then I need you to make entropy roll. He's going to make entropy roll versus your resolve.
Mm-hmm.
What is your resolve, please?
Oh, heaps.
4 then.
14?
14, that's not bad. It's okay, so he's just rolling straight entropy plus resolve. His entropy is 2d8. So he starts on a 10. Rolls a 14 on the first dice. So he rolls an 18 total. Where it is a bane, all he needs to do is beat your target.
Correct.
So you are demoralized and feared, is what the effect is.
All right, he gets 2 banes.
Yep, he a multi-bane specialist. And so from your perspective, he turns around and he says, "Boo." And for lack of a better way of putting it, his jaws suddenly turn into this, shark grin. The eyes glow red. The horns begin to contort and twist over. Claws start sprouting out of his hand. That's what you're seeing. So that's going to be his action.
There's no, disadvantage for using multi-banes, is there?
No, he specialist removes it.
Oh, I see.
That is the literal mechanic of that. So these guys are tough. That's the whole point. They're okay, and that brings us to Chevalier. Oops, wrong button. Which is over here.
Attack specialist.
It's one of the NPC abilities.
Yeah, I'm having a look. I'm just interested.
Yep. So what's Chevalier think the best course of action under these circumstances might be? I think you're muted, which is to say I can't hear you.
I am. Yes, thank you. I'm double checking something quickly, but feel like all right. I kind of wanted to not have at least one of those weapons in her hand. Mm-hmm. Would be real.
Cut the hand off.
Well, difficult to do with a warhammer, but I'm willing to try. I don't know if it's better to hit her regularly and hope to get the plus 10 over a thing, or to actually just make the Bane attack. And I think because I don't think I get advantage on the Bane. I'm not 100% on that. Is it called a Bane attack? Is that how it's worded?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I do then. Damage is a good debuff. At least at a certain point it is. Mm-hmm. And they both will be against guard anyway. All right, we're just going to try and... I'm going to move up and attack her, I guess. Oops. That's why. That's where. My dice vanished into ether. Oh, no, it is. It's just...
It went into the portal.
It's just like, the dice was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Keep in mind, folks, we're all highly trained professionals here.
How dare you call me that? How dare you? Yeah, I move up. I move up to engage her, and I say, as I do, I say, now it's rude to only focus at one person at the party.
Look, it's another diva.
It's not bad, but we have to do maths, I'm told.
Yes.
So that goes away. That gets rerolled. That is a thing. Okay. So that is 10, 23, 26.
All right. That is her guard plus 10. Exactly.
Plus-
That is her guard plus 10. She has a guard of 16.
Oh, wow. All right, cool. Yeah, I walk up, and as I do, I imagine bringing another attack down on. He just smacks it out of her hand with his hammer. And it goes 15 feet behind me.
All right. So which one is it, the sickle or the rope dart?
The sickle.
All right. So she cannot use Reaper's Hand sickle. So as opposed to Penguin's icicle. And so 15 feet behind you, I'm just going to put a little X on the map. And we'll just drop it here.
Does that mean I have a sickle now?
Pick it up.
Alexandra just catches it out of the air. Her eyes just turn completely black. And we're like,
Yes.
oh no. Another voice starts singing in her ear.
I'm just going to say the category.
I didn't even think about that, but that could be
Go
interesting.
better. So 15 feet will put. Hello there. Could you draw maybe or something? There.
Who needs physical combat when you could just have an entire combat that takes place in Alexandri's head?
So there we go. So that's where it's laying. Is the it bounces
Okay,
literally
cool.
bounces off the wall beside Alexandria and goes skittering along the side of the building up the street, and that's where it winds up.
Okay.
All right then. Okay. So how much? So is that just straight up Bane, or are you doing damage and Bane?
That was 10 damage plus the bane.
Okay, good. Just let me.
And I might as well maintain the boon.
Yeah,
Just in case.
Just might as well.
Until I
So she.
change it.
Okay. So 10 points, and that's. Okay, 10. That gives 10 points of damage. Anything else V's going to want to do? You're going to maintain your boon.
No, I think that's my lot.
All right, and Spider. So
Yeah. So I must use my move action and my major action to move away from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still allowed to take the minor action to resist the demoralized?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah. So you execute your movements. You can immediately roll versus demoralize. You execute your movements, and then you can roll against.
End my turn, and then I get to resist fear. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, directly away from this guy is good news for the party because I'm going straight into the melee. I don't know how many feet that is because I don't remember how movements work.
It's 10 per square. So
I don't know how far I can move per move action.
Your base is 30.
30.
30 is your base unless you've got special abilities that tell you otherwise. So you'll hoof 3 squares. Because of your ridiculous athletics and stuff like that, the little details about distance to ground are irrelevant. You literally run down walls.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll just run straight into the melee, I guess, or whatever's going on.
So let's just.
You tell me where I run. You know the straightest line away.
I was just going to say, so
60 feet.
10 feet will put you there. I think it's just funny to have you try. You're not going to be able to fit down that little joint between the two buildings, so you're literally going to run up the side of the wall there. So that's 20. That gets you 30, and then you've got your another 30 feet because you're using your action. So that gets you to here, and then that gets you to here, basically poised up on the corner of the roof, looking down at the fight.
Yeah, I appear at that corner, and then I yell down at the group. I yell, "Demon!" It's a demon, not a summon. It's scary. We should probably get out of here.
Right.
And then I'll roll. Okay, that's a 10 for the demoralized
Yeah.
and a 14 for the fear. And I go, hang on, wait.
Suddenly see like your brother lying in a pool of his own blood.
I look back
Lady
down and I'm like,
probably recognized, and her weapon spiraling off into the.
yeah. And like I look
feel like
back
the
and I'm
fear
like,
should stand.
What is that bitch doing here?
Far out.
and I end my turn.
Wait a minute. What's that bitch doing? I love that. Oh, you guys are fantastic. I deeply adore this group. Lucas, other than bleeding out on the floor, what's your other than bleeding all over the ground? What is your cunning plan?
To cough up blood,
Okay. Yep.
probably put a tooth back into place, maybe hold together my guts a little bit, although it's probably my back that's opening up. So maybe doing my best to just stand.
Okay.
How are you looking on a scale of 0 to however many hit points you have?
On a scale of 0 to 32, I'm sitting at about a 2.
Is that a 2 healable or a 2 left?
That's a 2 left.
Okay,
came up to
so you have some that are healable, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there's some that's healable. I've got...
That's all I needed to know.
Lethal damage can only be healed by magical means or long-term.
It can't be healed by magical means, or
No,
not my magical means.
So he's taken 20 points of
Yes.
lethal. So yeah. So of the 32,
He's got 12 hit
there's-
points.
There's 12 that's recoverable there. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What? Sorry, 10
So,
that's recoverable because he's still got 2 left.
he's got 2. Yeah.
so Lucas doesn't know what retreat means. So
Yes.
he's going to... Look, it's a floor. I'm playing this.
I mean, yeah.
Hang on
No,
a second.
absolutely.
No, okay. If you're triggering your flaw, what is the flaw you are triggering?
Oh, proud.
Hang on a second. That's a legend point.
Yeah, I had one of those too.
Yeah,
you
I
do.
was going to say, yeah. So the group has got 2. Alexandri's got 1. Spider has got 1. So give me a moment here, just real fast. Sorry, I should have had this open already and didn't because I am pro. Text files.
Bro.
Legend points. There we go. So now we will add. And then, so that's Lucas. Lucas, my good man, has now 1 legend point.
And I think he's just going to use all his action to...
Just
He's
all in one go, eh?
Yeah, and so I think this gives advantage.
He has to stand up. He's knocked down. He's prone
Yes.
at the moment.
So, well, I was just going to say, so yeah, so it's going to.
Oh, so I can't use it. So I've got to stand up. So I can't use
You can't, but you do. You can get a. I've still got a boon up. I'm sustaining, so.
So I can't do a forced action. Okay.
But you do get advantage if you use the song.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's why I did it that way. You have to use it. Huh?
No. That's exactly what I want to do. Great. I was hoping that I could do the forced action, but I can't. So I'll stand up, and as I'm standing up, I'm just using everything I've got to just the last remnants of strength.
Yes, in a last ditch attempt to make her go away. Understood.
One of them explodes twice.
Oh.
Thank you for exploding twice. 22
versus guard toughness.
It will be guard.
Energy versus guard. Okay, so 22 versus 16. That is a hit by 6. Yeah.
Great.
That's 6.
So good.
Yep.
Happy. Brill. Standing up. Yeah, and I'm just wavering. I'm standing there and holding that next to her. Doing my best to stay standing.
She's going.
There's not really much can do with minor actions.
So you crack her with a sheet of energy, and she kind of winces. She looks at you and, why have you not succumbed to the slaughter? Do I have to do everything?
Yes.
All right, and that brings us to Alexandre.
Alexandre has a boon focus 1 on heal, so I don't have to roll. It just happens. Lucas is hurt.
Lucas is a mess.
Lucas is a bloody mess.
He looks awful. He looks awful. Like, it is. Like, he's been stabbed with an ice shard arrow before, but never bled this much when that happened.
No. And Alexandre healed him then. She's going to do the same again now. And it has to be at least 2, right? Because double 1s on 6s. Let's see what happens. We had an explosion.
Nice.
So, I mean, you can't heal more than 12, but it was more than 12.
Fantastic.
Right.
And it would have exploded again.
I'm
but
technically at my max.
Yes.
you are now at your max hit point.
So
You're as healthy as you possibly can be.
Yeah.
Yay!
Was going to do other things, but no, this is...
So, yes, technically at this point, your maximum hit points is below Ramiki's. So, from Alexandre's perspective, what has been going on is... You've been hearing the song playing, and the song has become strident, powerful. It's driving you forward. Lucas's sword slashes are in time to the timpanis. These dramatic flourishes of the music in your mind, but all through the base of it is this. It's the sound of taking a chainsaw to a grand piano while it's being played. It's the sound of a harp's of a harp and a harpist being thrown off a building as they play. The sound, the sound of woodwinds being smashed over the heads of the people playing them. There's these every time Genevieve does something. There are these massive discordant moments within the song.
Does the song itself change?
No, as soon as she's done doing what she's done, it goes back to being the song you recognize. The only thing, if you will, is that, for lack of a better way of putting it, the power of the song, as you and Lucas have begun wielding your powers in this battle, there's a difference between loudness and volume. The volume of the sound of the song has increased.
Okay.
So what's Alexandre going to do?
Alexandre's healed Lucas, and she's gonna.
Yep. Anything else?
Does how close does Alexandre need to be to Chevalier in order for Chevalier to defend her? I feel like she would know that.
Oh, like, as long as I can get to the person attacking you, that would be fine.
Yeah.
It's like I have to get to you, or like I have to in some ways impose myself. So if I can get to her, to you, or put myself in between, ultimately it's fine. And but I can move up to 15 feet before I do.
So 1.5 squares.
Those decided.
Right, I see. So Alexandre is just going to head toward the
signal. If I'm near you at any point, if I'm next to you at any point, you then also get to make a half move. Is the consideration there?
I see. I'm moving a little bit further away, though I don't know if it matters, given she's still got something she can throw. Oh. That's my turn.
Okay. All right then. And that brings us to Genevieve's first action. I think. So, okay, Lucas is. Of the two, Lucas is barely hanging on. He's going to fall down of his own accord as far as she's concerned. I think the Warbot is actually far more of a concern to her at this point. So...
You're going to act like a diva. You'll be treated like a diva.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently how you have to get attention, so yeah.
I think she's just going to tell you to go away so she can be alone. So she can be alone with her first sacrifice. So she's going to basically... So the hand you've knocked the sickle away from, she literally flicks the hand out to maximum extension. These little arcs of lightning electricity begin to form around her fingers. It coalesces into this basketball-sized, seething ball of energy, and she just drives it at you. So that is Ball Lightning. It is an attack specialization 4. It is a Bane focus, which means she only needs to hit by 5. And let's see what happens.
What's she rolling against?
It is energy versus guard.
Okay.
Her energy is 3d8, so she's rolling 5d8 total. Let's see what happens.
Pish.
Couldn't possibly hit you. That's not a good roll. She starts out on a 4, so yes, she's probably just missed you.
I'm not remotely concerned.
7. Okay, so that's so a 7 and a 2, and then she gets to re-roll those because she's got advantage 4. So there's a 7 is the high dice so far. So a 6 and a 6. So we're gonna okay. What I'm just gonna do here. So we're gonna keep the 7 that she had, and I'm gonna go grab another dice to make this easy. Where's that 7 go? There it is. So we've got a 7 and a 6 so far on the table. Grab this d8. I've rolled advantage. The first 2 advantage, that's a 2. No good. And that's a 4. So her total, as I read it, is a 13-17. So she's going to blast you with this, and I think you're just going to ignore her, I suspect. Yes?
I think it probably just like sort of arcs through him and then just sort of grounds itself.
What I would actually like you to do now, because of what just happened, and because I'm one of those GMs, allow me to grab my thing, I now need you to make a will roll, please.
A will roll. Sure.
Hey, it's a will or won't roll. What will or won't happen?
17.
A 17. Okay. I think... Okay, so that's fine. What's going to happen is you're going to feel this vague... as the energy blasts into you, you're literally going to see this... your vision is going to change. You've got the little balls that are used to guiding around you and stuff like that. And literally what is going to happen is there's going to be this set of sigils that kind of flicker into the upper right corner of your vision. And it's almost as though they're struggling to light up, and the jolt of energy has done something. And they begin to be readable and then vanish, and you don't really glimpse or understand what they are.
Interesting.
Okay, and that's...
Was there any sense of them if they were like external or internally produced, I guess?
They felt familiar. You feel like you should know what that was, but don't.
Fun.
Hello, backstory.
Hello.
She hit me so hard I got backstory.
Oh!
Get a doctor to look at that. Tragic, really.
Yeah, if you roll,
Throwing a bit of backstory
like
there,
10
friend.
or more under your target, it triggers backstory.
Okay. She rolled. Okay, so that's a 2 and an exploding 4. and 3. So that's 7, 9. Another crossbow bolt goes whistling by. Ramiki saying something terribly unpleasant and clearly beneath a lady of her station. And Genevieve is just like, doink, doink. Would you stop that before I have to kill you? Well, I'll kill you anyway, but stop that.
Bounces off V. It's like, come on.
All right. Genevieve's next action, I think. Okay. And then this is the
do it, Michelle. You can attack Lucas.
I was just going to say I'm actually going to. Well, it's just there's also the moment of hilarity that would come from the following action. This we have and what's that bitch doing here? Zap.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't do it.
So, Ice Lance, energy versus guard. Let's see what happens. So literally, she just again the open hand because she still got the rope dart in the other one, but she she slams this ball of lightning into V, glances up at the rogue on the roof and thinks, I'm not getting shot by a fucking sniper. That's just not happening today. You stop that before you do anything. Stop that.
Holding a sword. There's no crossbow. No, I mean it's on my back.
Just hiding it like, man.
don't know what you're...
She's seen you use it before. No, she hasn't.
Careful, that rogue has a crossbow. What? No, I don't.
Why would I, as a rogue, have a crossbow? Why would I ever do that? So that's energy. That's 3d8. Let's see where we go with this. Don't tell me I have to go buy another set of dice here. That's an 11. 3, a 1. You guys are getting off easy. Now, second, she's got advantage 4, which basically she's just going to re-roll those 3 dice because she can't do worse.
No. No.
And that's another 1, so she can actually do worse. That's a 4.
That's the highest.
That's a 3, so she's going to re-roll the 1 for the last point of advantage. We'll see what comes out of that. And that's a 4. That is absolutely trash for her. So all total, that is 19. So yeah, 11 plus 4 is 15, and then 7 is 21. So she's rolling 21 against your toughness.
Guard, I think you said?
Guard, yes, guard. She's using Ice Lance.
Okay, I take 5 damages.
Okay,
my God,
and she has Bane Focus. 5 damage is enough to trigger a power level 5 blind on you. So basically this lance of frost ice slams into you. You've got literally your eyes are frozen shut. You're suffering from frost from snow blindness. So you're up on this roof blind.
Yep, cool. Cannot see as long as the effect persists. Fails any perception rolls, attack rolls. Based on sight, can be supplemented by another sense, suffer disadvantage 5. Good to know.
Right. I think she's just going to just straight up okay, so Lucas and... Oh, yeah, okay, fine. That's easy enough. I think she's just going to... so she lashes out with this blast device. She drops the rope dart back, the coil of the rope dart back into its holster, if you will, and then immediately lashes out towards Lucas with a blast of fire. So she's gone once, twice. This is her third action, yes.
Fighting the Avatar. That's awkward. This recent reincarnation is a bitch. I wouldn't
now
watch 3 seasons
I'm
of this
wondering
at
even
all.
more. Are we the baddies?
I
don't think so.
Oh,
I
think the person who is referring to sacrifice and slaughter isn't the good person.
the bad guys.
A 1, a 7.
Wouldn't Alexandri do the same?
A 1.
Not currently.
Oh, okay,
A
good
5.
point.
I think she's going to actually miss you because this is versus your toughness. Now she's got advantage 4, so I'm just going to re-roll the 2 cheap dice. So she's starting on a 12. That's better. So she's going to re-roll the 2. So she's got 1 more re-roll after this if it's not interesting. She'll re-roll that 3. So the high number on that dice so far was a 3. So she's got 10, 15, 21 all total.
Against what?
Against your toughness.
Is it toughness?
Yes.
Yeah, my toughness is 17. So she got 4.
I will guard against that.
You're gonna jump into that?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Some of those dice were great. All right, yeah, never mind. This is actually pretty good. Okay. $27
Okay.
with a 1 on the D20.
Oh, nice. 27 on a 1.
There were 3 6s.
That's spectacular. All right then.
Good way to start.
Advantage is fun.
Advantage is fun for sure.
How does that work? Do you keep the 2 6s and re-roll them, or do you re-roll all 3 and keep the highest?
You just keep stacking.
You get
You take the highest, and then if they have the 6s, so you don't re-roll all the 6s.
You only
Then take the
re-roll.
ones-
well, I get to keep 2 of the 6s, so I get the
Yeah,
2
you get
6s.
the 2 6s, then you
and
re-roll.
then just rolled them both again, and
Yeah.
one of them was another 6. So got to do it again.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. All right, so so you rolled a 27 versus her 21, which means So you don't take any damage from that blast, and more importantly, neither does poor Lucas.
She takes 6 damage though.
She takes 6 damage. All right. Now she has got. That was her fire. That was her fire blast. So she actually only takes 1.
I can see she is familiar with the works of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. She is elementary.
Oh, that was a long walk.
I don't know whether to mute you or just throw my computer.
If both are acceptable, just do the muting
Both.
so it sticks.
It's the only way to be safe.
From orbit.
She sort of goes to just like knocks the hand aside with the shield, and it's just like none of that now.
She's going to look at you and say, "Fine, you first." And she's literally just going to try and grab you by the face.
Sam, does your thing kick in? Does she take 6 damage as well?
Yeah.
She took 1.
Yeah, she's actually resistant to fire damage.
Well, she's not. I'm not reversing it on her. I'm doing damage like physically.
Oh, okay. It's the not her damage she's taking. It's just general damage she's taking.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Counterattacking essentially.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's.
I will double check that because maybe it specifies damage type. I don't think it does.
Because if you are reflecting damage, then it's whatever type was launched.
I think it's kind of like it might depend on like the narrative. So if you're using something like protection or something magical, that you could actually reflect the damage back. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, it just says you do damage. So I assume it's like whatever narratively makes sense, which is usually just me smacking her hand aside.
Yep, no, that's cool. just going to say, what the hell? But no, the problem is I can't. The problem is I'm slick dexic.
That old
Yeah.
chestnut.
I was just going to say, how did she wind up at 62 out of? No, it's 20. Never mind, Michelle. Write it the other way around. Thank you. You haven't done 62 points of damage to her yet.
Not that we're aware of.
Not that we're aware of. No. So,
Now I'm
Although we
worried
are
that we need
annoying.
to do 62.
well, that's just.
We are annoying though, so maybe
So,
psychic
yes,
damage?
So, but, pride damage for sure. Right. She really wants her toy back. But, she just doesn't need the toy. I mean, it's just better if she has the toy. She would like her toy back. But she can also tell that brat is going to be a problem, and this brat's perpetually a problem. So I think that brat just needs to go away.
which brat is she talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
She is going to use Terror of Slaughter, which is a multi-bane specialist, and she's a multi-attack specialist at tier 4, which means she can target up to 4 targets with no disadvantage. So, yeah, she's going to Entropy versus Resolve on the 3 closest people to her, which will be, from this map, as I'm looking at it, pretty clearly Spider, Lucas, and Chevalier. So,
Sort of was up on a roof.
Yep. She knows you're there, though. You yelled, so that's all she needed. And you haven't had a chance to try and hide or anything yet. So...
Yeah, I just didn't realize I was closer than, like...
The squares are 10 feet, right? You're 15, 20 feet away. Yeah, you're noticeably closer than Miki. So her entropy is 3d8, and she's got advantage 2. So all total, she's rolling, so 3d8 advantage 2. Let's see what we get out of this.
You all have good resolve, right?
No, it's everybody's dump stat. So she starts with a 19.
Oh.
I don't have that good a resolve.
Oh.
A 2. Oh, that's a D10. Hang on a second. Wrong dice. D8s, Michelle, not D10s.
So is that fear I just heard
It will be.
that she's using? Okay. Cool.
And
Cool,
a
cool.
2,
Got
and
this.
so she's just going to re-roll the white dice. So she's got that was a 2, and she comes back up with a 2. So it's 23, 25, 27 on versus your resolve. Yeah.
That's 10 higher, yeah.
All right.
Hang on a second.
Now I'm going to
Ki-
give. Go ahead.
I'd like to. I don't know how to do this. Defend. I'd like to interrupt and defend that.
Okay, mechanically.
So I'm reading fast.
Okay, yep. Actually,
It's an interrupt action. It's an interrupt action.
Mm-hmm.
In some situations, you may want to take an action in response to another combatant's action. In these cases, you can use an interrupt action.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you use an interrupt action, you lose your major action the next time your turn in an initiative order comes up. You can use it to defend or improvise.
All right.
You may use a defend action after an enemy has rolled a successful attack against you or an ally in order to attempt to ward off the attack. Describe how you're defending and make an action roll using an appropriate attribute. A single defend action can only be used to defend one target.
All right.
If your attribute roll is higher than the targeted defense score, the roll replaces the targeted defense. So, I would like to use restoration.
All right. On who?
Chevalier.
It'd be a stat, not a boon.
It's a stat. So it's a, yes, sorry, that's what I'm using. So it would be creation.
Right.
But I wanted to see what that stat is. So using creation, I'd like to implore the song to tell Chevalier not to run.
Okay, so your target number then is her 27.
I don't even know if this is going to work. It'll be fun. It'll be
Now,
great.
reminder, you have an advantage and the group has advantage.
These are
I'm
things.
probably
Yes, you
going
have
to.
legend-
Do I have to declare it before?
It gives you advantage, so you need
Yeah,
to sort of set it up.
Oh, it just
before
gives
roll
me
happens.
advantage.
Yeah, so the way,
Please.
yes, you have to, essentially what you do, so the group has 2 legend points, Alexandria has 1 personal legend point. You can, you guys, I think, are level 2, so you can roll up to 2 legend points on...
We're level 3, aren't we?
Oh, yes, that's right, you're 3rd, so you can roll...
We are,
Yeah, you
but-
can roll 3.
But I'm only going to use the one
All right, sure.
in case we need it later.
Yep, just let me double check. I want to make sure we've got the rule right, because don't want you guys to feel you get cheated here. Legend points, there we are, 27. Oh, come on now. Okay. An additional layer of depth is okay. From legend points allow the players an opportunity to stack dice. Characters be okay. Spending legend points. Here we go. PC may spend a maximum number of legend points equal to the level +1 in order to enhance a single action roll. Before making an action roll, the PC declares how many legend points they are spending and gains advantage 1 for each point spent. Additionally, for each legend point spent, the roll gains a +1 on it. So if you roll 3 legend, so you can at 3rd level you can technically roll 4 legend if you had it, and if you did that, you'd also gain a +4 on the roll.
Okay. So I get a +1 to whatever this turns out being. Okay. Oh, that's nice.
That's the happy Chantal noise.
That's the happy Chantal noise. And I'm rolling with advantage once I put that down. Well, I mean, we're starting at 29. So
Wow.
I think that's a 19 on the die plus a 6 and a 4 on the d6s. So we started that just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
We ended up at 34.
Fantastic. So
Chevalier going nowhere.
Chevalier is bolstered by the resolve of his ward, Lucas, and on the other hand, Lucas and Spider, our indomitable brothers, are temporarily domitable, and are suffering from power level 5 fear and power level 3 demoralized. So run away, take lots of disadvantage. So I suspect, because I think it's just funny, I think what's going to Spider's going to go running back towards the demon. You know?
The question is, I'm also blinded, so do
Yes.
I?
Oh.
Yes. So I'm just going to say I was just going to say the problem is you're terrified and don't know where to go. But until basically you just can't take an action, I don't think makes any sense whatsoever. You know you're. I mean, you can sort of with the Spider is so good at what it is he does. He's got a base roll of 16 on thievy type stuff because of super abilities. You know you're right on the edge of a literal 10-foot drop.
Oh yeah.
it's
No,
just-
I'm not
so
worried about like.
Yeah, but what I mean is I think the only thing that makes sense for Spider would be to literally attempt to vanish until this wears off.
Yeah.
But, and this chap over here, I forgot to move him. He gets 10, 20 would put him there, and then 30 puts him there, and then he's there. Okay, so he's probably going to get away, which suits our purposes just fine. Good agents are hard to find in this world. Okay. So, and that's all of her actions. That brings, so he's done his movement. That brings us to V.
defended, so I don't have a major action at the moment. But I am still in her face. Yeah, I think he just sort of like, because he was hit by this thing and then had it be shielded by the song.
So
in Giantkin, Alexandri would have said, "Chevalier, please don't leave me."
So I think that is so. What the effect of her spell is that what you are going to see is what everyone who is attacked by the spell sees is a glimpse of what her future is. And what you see is the streets running red, you see bodies scattered around, you see Werekin ripping doors apart, and what you see is your long desiccated forms scattered about the streets being trod over. And and what is obviously missing from this image, I think, Chevalier can't tell just because of his perspective, and the vision goes away because of the power of the song. As he begins to succumb, her Alexandri's reassuring voice breaks through the moment of being thrust into that vision. But I think what is going to be very, very obvious to the brothers is the one person who's not in this image is Chevalier.
Prove to me that the protect action doesn't interrupt the whole attack. It's only against one target.
Yeah, I'm just going to say in this case, it's she's making a Bane attack, so it just screws the whole thing up.
There's feats you can take. We can start doing multiple defend thing.
I see.
Which I'm eyeing off, but.
Do you
did like multi-attack and multi-bane?
Yeah, no. So that is actually two separate effects that you're So it's an attack, Terror of Slaughter, which produces two bane effects, which is a power level 5 Fear and a power level 3 Demoralized. Of the two, of course, the Fear is most destructive because it forces everyone to run away from her. So is what you're saying there? Muffin, that Chantel's or Alexandri's defense would only block one of those two?
No. I was surprised it only blocked one against one person and not against everyone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It says I can only defend one target.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
If you wanted to take disadvantage,
I could have tried to get all of.
But by default, it's one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
Not sure if you can like I said, there's feats that sort of muck with it. I'm not sure normally if you can multi-target defend.
What the feats do is they cancel the disadvantage you get.
So this time she hit us so bad we learned front story.
we learned potential story.
But like so
I imagine Chevalier sort of taken like a unconscious step back, and then as bolstered, he sort of there's a moment of collecting himself essentially, and in Giantkin as well, he just sort of said, "I have no intention of going anywhere," and he sort of takes up his stance in front of this woman, and then just going back into common or trade tongue or whatever it is. That was very rude, but you're starting to bore me. That's my go. I spend a minor action.
So who's taking pride damage now?
It is the spider's action.
All right, I run away and I will start resisting all these bloody things.
So I guess, like I say, I'm technically, you know, because under normal conditions, because you're blind, you have no ability to make perception. I think anyone who spends their life running along roofs and that sort of thing, for lack of a better way of putting it, gets to use Braille.
Yeah, I mean, it says you can make attack and perception rolls based partially on sight that could be supplemented by another sense suffer disadvantage 5. So, like,
yeah. So I mean, I think so. If you actually wanted to run, as opposed to just kind of bunker down, yeah, you're obligated to use some movement. You're not obligated to commit suicide, for lack of a better way of putting it.
yeah, I mean, like, I think what would make most sense is to just like dive to the other side of the roof.
Yeah.
And then just like sprawl out there.
Yep, that's fine by me.
So like over, I don't know how to.
Yep,
again, I
got
can't
you,
move
man.
anything.
There you are. So that puts you over here.
Yeah. Okay, so resisting demoralized is a minor action.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 18, so I'm no longer demoralized.
Mm-hmm.
I can't resist blind because that would normally be a move action, and I had to use my move to run.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So then to resist fear, that is a 12, so I'm good.
All right. So your mind clears of this horrid vision as you take cover. Yes. So your mind clears of this horrid vision as you take cover, but you still can't see because of the ice crystals in your eyes.
Yeah.
All right. And that brings us to Lucas.
Yeah, I got to run away. I suppose, yeah. I'm going to try and get away and get behind a wall.
Sure. So you've 30 feet of movement, so that's 20 gets you to the corner. 30 would get you around the first corner.
Okay.
And then I think you're actually obligated to use your major action as well for movement.
Yep.
So that's going to be another 10 gets you there, 20 gets you to this corner, and then 30 gets you over here. And we'll just readjust the camera so everyone can see what you see. So yes, you are guessing, based on the very calming blue lights up to the northwest, and all of these lights around this huge structure directly ahead of you, that this is probably the Beggar's Temple.
Okay.
Which is where you're supposed to be taking Marimiki, by the way.
Yeah, okay. And then I'm going to do the resistances.
Sure thing.
So what have I got to do? I've got demoralized and fear.
Mm-hmm. So if you're basically your resistance roll is 10 plus. Just flat
straight
D20. Straight D20.
Well, fear, I got a 6.
So okay, you're going to remain afraid.
And demoralized, a 19.
All right. So the demoralization effect has worn off. And then, yeah, so you're still horrified by the future you have glimpsed.
Great.
You're still horrified. You just don't feel as bad about it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I mean,
it's like, I guess this is my reality now.
All right.
Great.
And that brings us to Alexandri. Alexandri, you have used your major action, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to tell Ramiki to run and look to see, because I can't see on the map, but I would like to use a minor action to see if I can see where the rest of the party has run to.
Sure. Minor action, make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
You can have advantage 1 because people running away screaming is pretty obvious.
That I appreciate. I mean, we started in nat 20.
Yeah, okay. Just under the category of ludicrous. Yeah, all right. So
32.
Tax.
32. Everything is so slow and calm to Alexandri right now.
So
he's about to die. Everything's fine.
I'm just going to say. So yes, you know exactly where the two brothers have bolted off to.
That hyper focus.
That hyper focus, right? Like ADHD, eat your heart out. Like she knows exactly. She doesn't need time. She can see through time right now. Okay.
So yes, they've basically. So yes, you know exactly. So there's a spider went roof running out to the west southwest, and then Lucas bolted up around the nearest corner to the southwest. Sorry, to the northwest. My apologies. To the northwest.
Still on her horse, because she's on a horse. I'm on a horse, motherfuckers.
Look down, back up. I'm still on a horse.
Still on a horse. She's just gonna, whimper a little, but stay still, because she can't do anything else.
All right, then. And Genevieve will turn around, look at Chevalier. I'm so sorry. I'm deeply disturbed. I'm so sorry. Let me try this. I'd hate for you to be bored. I will remember to make your disassembly particularly exciting. Right. Entropy versus toughness. Let's see what happens here. She has advantage 2 on this. Entropy is 3d8. So 3d8 to start with, advantage 2. Natural 20. So that would turn out to be a 21. One extreme to the next. A 2. A 7. A 6. So advantage 2, she's going to re-roll that's a 4. 4 is still lower than either of these two. We'll see what she gets. An 8, which explodes. And so that's 15 plus 13. 15 plus 13 is 28. Is 48. Is 49 is her total roll.
What's my toughness? 19?
You've just been hit with withering exhaustion. You are fatigued, power level 5.
Oh, shoot.
Cool, yeah.
I mean, at least it wasn't a damage
attack. I was just like, it's a bane. It's actually a bane I can get rid of.
And then Ramik, so you yell at Ramik.
But level 5? You say level 5?
Level 5, power level 5.
Oh, fatigued?
Yes.
Fatigue is always level 5, I think.
Yeah, it's 3, 5, 7 or something like that. It's...
The target loses consciousness, that one?
No, power level, not fatigue level.
Yeah.
Ah, very good. As you were.
Yeah, no. Fatigue level 5, I'd be much less coy about.
I was like, what? Wait, what? Everything's fine.
I was just going to say, oh, you want her to run away? So she whirls. I think Ramiki is... I am going to make a will roll for Ramiki. Ramiki's a remarkably stubborn little brat.
Good on her.
Yeah. So she's going to get... She's got a D8 on this. Basically, the question is if she decides what she wants to do is stay here and fight because she's pissy, or whether or not she's going to do what she's told. The correct answer is do what she's told. So she rolls
Gods
a
protect
19.
me from stubborn women.
This is a 19. Ramiki is going to turn to run. She
Good.
understands this fight. She's missed every shot she's taken against this. She's used to being, she's used to being able to shoot street thugs with very little ease. Every shot she's fired has missed at this woman. There's going to be this long moment. She's going to look actually past the battle, straight at Alexandre. I'm going for help, she says, and she rides off. So she gets 40 feet of movement, spurring the horse, 10, 20, 30, and 40. And I need to check the range on Clutch of Slaughter.
No, that doesn't sound good.
That's the rope dart, is what it's called.
Well, look, we know that their PR department has been working for overtime.
Harder than mine as well.
So technically, let's just see this.
Name some of your attacks.
What is that actual distance from her? Ruler. Hang on a sec. And then ruler. So that's 70 feet. I think that's disadvantage. I think I need to check. I think she's attacking with disadvantage to make that shot. Just let me check something real fast. It's basically thrown weapons, because technically it's a dagger, right? Is what she's doing. Weapons and implements is 83. Bowie knife, shiv, okay. What's level 2 one-handed melee? So the best would be short. And short, I believe. Okay, so no, dagger is close, which is a range implement of 25. So for every 25 feet, which is, so she has disadvantage 2 on the attack to strike Ramiki. So one sec here. So Ramiki is down here. And yes, she has the two have line of sight on each other. Let's see what we get with the roll. Because she's exactly the kind of woman who you say, oh, run away, save yourself. Fine, I'll kill her. She does not get advantage on this roll. She does not. She used up all her points in this attack on all the goodies. So she's just rolling with disadvantage 2. Okay, let's do this. So it is energy Chain of Slaughter is technically an energy attack. Her energy is 3d8. So she rolls 5d8 and takes the lowest 3. Rolls a 7 on the d20. That's a good start for Ramiki's safety. Rolls a 7. Rolls a 7. And rolls a 3. So I'm going to re-roll the 2 7s. It's 4. And a 6. So the total I'm reading is 23. With disadvantage 2. Ramiki's guard is 16.
It's 20, unless Chevalier stops sustaining.
Oh, yes! Okay, that's good. So Ramiki's guard is 14 plus 6 is 20. Yes, you are correct. 23 means... so Ramiki's going to take 3 points of damage. And that's not enough, even with Bane Focus, to... oh, she has Superior Bane Focus. It triggers on hit. No, Bane... Yeah, Superior Bane Focus triggers on hit. All she has to do is damage. So she's going to yank Ramiki out of the saddle is what's going to happen, and knock her down, and do 3 points of damage. So that's 3.
Okay, so now it's time for, like, the secret MVP of this battle, that warhorse.
Hey man, if I ever have a turn, we'll be back in it.
All right. So
I just need people to like stop being almost dying
and then so that's going to move Ramiki,
or running, and I can do something.
That drags Ramiki back that far, and she's off the horse. And the horse is the horse, being a war horse, knows better than to run away from a fallen rider. It's actually going to grind to a halt and turn around and stand there beside Ramiki. And then so she's done that. That was her second action. Her third action is she is going to make a delve, a delve of slaughter, which is a perception roll versus Chevalier. Your deception.
Deception.
Did I write that down? I must have written that down wrong. That doesn't
What are you
sound right.
deceiving?
What's it doing?
Yes, it is deception. Literally, so she whirls around at you. Her eyes glow this absolutely brutal malevolence, and basically what she's doing is determining what your worst defense is of your physical defenses, and that she's using a full action perception check to determine your lowest actual mechanical stat of your 3 physical defenses.
Oh.
So you basically the question is
So I roll.
you can prevent her from actually figuring that out.
So I roll deception counter to her.
Right.
Interesting.
And so she's going to roll.
I don't think I'm going to do very well.
D20 and 3D.
I didn't do very well.
You didn't do very well. Okay. How not very well did you roll?
I got an 8.
You rolled an 8. She starts with a 13. Okay, fine. Yeah. So what is your mechanically worst physical defense?
Of the 3 defenses,
Yeah.
resolve.
Resolve. Okay, so she's going to start targeting your resolve with everything she does. She really does need you to just sit down while she slaughters everyone else politely.
It concerns me that she's never thought maybe people shouldn't be slaughtered. I was going to add more to that sentence, but that's kind of the end
Really,
of it.
you should, at a certain point, you should really have that thought.
Just
She is the avatar of slaughter. I don't know what you're expecting.
He sings the song of slaughter.
Singing the song of angry men.
no.
Angry all the people.
Regrets, yes. That sounded way worse than it was intended to. That was actually supposed to be funny. I'm really sorry about that.
I actually really liked it.
Yeah, I appreciated it, but it wasn't funny.
Yeah, I think she is going to use vehement dismissal. I think is what she's going to do for her last action.
She's going to.
Her last action is vehement dismissal. She is going to look at Chevalier and she's going to say, "They're all going to die." And she rolls Potent Bane, which I believe gives her advantage on the attack. Just let me check that out. Because naturally I forgot to write that part down.
I think that makes it harder for me to resist roll
Yeah, I think you are correct.
rather than
Potent Bane.
make it
She's
easy
one
for them
Bane
to
you can
do.
invoke that has a duration of resist ends. When a target makes the resist roll to shake off the invocation, the chosen Bane they have disadvantage 1. So yes. Multi-Bane plus Potent Bane is what you're getting hit with versus your
Cool.
resolve. So here's her influence, which is 3d8.
Many attacks.
Oh yeah, she's
4.
Complicated woman.
She's more complicated than Alexandria, and I feel like that's saying something in this day and
going to
age.
say, I think this is the first person to actually make
I don't-
Alexandria feel somewhat inconsequential. That's a 9.
I feel
we've been faffing about doing, narrative stuff. She's clearly been doing XP game, just grinding it.
Hyperbolic time chamber.
she's been in every dungeon.
Found a high level friend to run her through various instances.
Yeah.
So the 8 explodes, right? So that's a 19 and 5. So she's at 24 plus 8 is 32.
Jeez.
And 35 all total.
My resolve. It's more than any of my defenses, really.
Imagine having resolve. So you are hit with 3 Banes simultaneously. Power level 3 Demoralized, Power level 3 Disarmed, and Power level 5 Phantasm.
Oh.
What does Phantasm do?
Demoralized, Phantasm, and what was the other one?
Demoralized, Phantasm, and Disarmed. So, let me find Phantasm. Phantasm. You create an illusionary manifestation to deceive the senses. Some examples exclude making taste of rotten metal, altering the sound, the date on the screen, blah, blah, blah. In this case, she has power level 5, which is a 15 by 15 by 15 area. And it is not enough to affect all senses. The problem is the demoralized. So effectively what happens is you see dozens of Oni, the Oni ninja, come leaping over the roof behind you, land in 2 distinct groups. One of them charges after the last place you saw Lucas running, and the other group goes charging in the direction you last saw Spider running. And they all have, literally serrated edge butcher knives in their hands. Their eyes are glowing, they're cackling maniacally, and, chanting for the slaughter, for the sacrifice. So I think,
Cool.
Yeah, so clearly she has just sent a literal horde to go slaughter your 2 friends. So yes, and in that moment, I think you can decide what disarmed means mechanically. I think you were just so horrified at the prospect of what's going to happen. That
Which item
I think,
does she want me to drop?
So what are the options?
Hammer or shield?
Hammer or shield. What have you've been blocking with that shield an awful lot. I think the shield would like to go away. You keep interrupting her.
I mean, sort of like hitting her hand out of the way, though, more than...
Okay, yeah, ditch the hammer. Ditch the hammer.
Smack her with a shield.
And it goes 15 feet somewhere.
Yep.
Smack her in the head with a shield.
Okay. And the hammer lands over there. All right. How's everyone feeling? Good for another round?
Demoralized.
Afraid.
Oh, wait, blind.
Blind, not demoralized. You're fine.
That's the characters. How are the players feeling? You guys good for another round? Do you want to break?
Yeah, let's keep going.
I'm good for another round.
All right.
I think I
I'm
actually
good.
came out of that better than I expected.
Yeah.
You're alive. I'm happy.
I was just going to say, this is the delight about this system is that sometimes those massive piles of die rolls really don't actually add anything because the person has chosen the wrong ability. In this case, there was, that could have been, 20, 17, 18 points of damage. But in this case, she was just literally trying to affect Banes on him to get him to piss off so she can get around to the job she really wants to do. So, yeah.
Which is what?
You're about to find out.
Oh, no, I don't want to. I'm good.
So, nasty.
Time out, maybe?
Yeah. Why don't we just chat instead? We could just talk and be, maybe.
And 40 gets him there. I'm pretty sure he's escaping, but we'll see what happens. That's his action because he doesn't really want to have this fight. That's not what he's paid for. And that brings us back to V. What are you going to do in the face of the impending doom of the 2 brothers?
I'm going to try... and resist demoralize. I've got disadvantage on this because of her potent gain, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Disadvantage 1.
Well, that's still a 10. So...
All right, so demoralize is going to come off.
And I will try to resist phantasm as well.
Okay. Is that a major action?
That's just a move. Oh, no. No. That's a 1 and a 2.
Oh,
That's not resisting phantasm at all. But he,
Are you going to let the brothers die?
I can't move. I used my move action.
Right then.
And if we're honest, of the 3, there's one who's a little more important.
No, I'm glad you feel that way.
Which I feel bad about, don't get me wrong.
I'm glad you feel that way about Ramiki.
Sorry, that's a good point. Of the 4 people.
awkward. Completely forgot her.
One of them is also lower down. He sort of had some, bent a bit between the fatigue and the demoralized and everything else. And he sort of looks back up at Genevieve. And he just says, well, look who went and got interesting. And here I was thinking I'd have to learn how to yawn. I'm going to try and smack her.
We're going to have a chat when this combat's over. Alexandre and Chevalier.
Actually, I'm going to retcon that a little bit.
What's the retcon?
I just said he still says he says, well, look who went and got interesting. I guess there's only one thing to do. And then in Giantkin, he says, release combat restrictions level 0.
What?
And I quote, I'm off the chain.
He's going to make a swing. Oh, I like seeing 6s. Okay. I got a 40.
Yeah, that's a hit. I need you to immediately make a will save DC, or a will check. Your DC on that is a 20.
Ooh, okay. That is 17.
17. Okay, then. So we'll talk about that roll in a moment. So So you crash, slam with the shield, yes?
His hand.
Just straight up punch. Okay, sure. And that is versus her guard?
Guard.
16. So she's got a 16, so that's 24. Yeah, that's a crushing blow. She's definitely felt that. She's going to stagger backwards. From the rod. It's 24. Oof. Hang on a second. I can't. Okay. Yeah. That's it. Yep. Okay.
And
then, what were you going to say?
I'm going to invoke the Fear Bane on her.
Okay. It's been tried. You know she has resistance.
She just gets it though. I got over 10.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, okay. So on her, so she will. But she gets it. So
isn't it just +5?
Yeah,
I didn't think
yeah, it's exactly what it is. It adds
to her guard, to her whatever defense against it.
Yeah, that's right. So that's yes. So she is afflicted by fear. Yes. Okay, got it. So there's going. Remember that little flickery thing I said was up in the corner of your eye?
I do, yes.
Yes, it surges on. And in Giantkin, you clearly see enabling automatic defenses written Giantkin. What Alexandri is going to see is part of the shoulder unlock. What looks to be essentially, the steampunky sort of Tesla tower will extend from the shoulder, and everybody gets attacked. Well, except Chevalier. So do me a favor, Chevalier. Please make an energy roll.
Do we need to have any line of
no,
sight?
it's actually just it's going to be Alexandri because they're the only ones he has line of sight on. Alexandri, Genefevre, and Ramiki.
Energy, you say?
Energy.
17.
Energy.
Will be against guard.
Yes, it is. Actually, no. Hang on a second. It is not. This ability specifically attacks will.
Oh. Will.
So, yeah. So what?
So I have to roll?
I make a will.
No.
So I make a roll?
I'm just going to say it is whatever your will is. So what's your will?
Will isn't a number like a guard.
Isn't
Yeah,
a
it's not
number.
a number.
Oh,
I mean,
You mean
hang on a
resolve?
sec. Yes,
Resolve.
resolve. That's it. Thank you. Presence plus will. Resolve. Yes. Sorry, Michelle's being awkward. Resolve. Yes.
15 is
15.
mine.
So you're going to take 3 points of damage as a blast of energy arcs away from this Tesla coil and slams into you. It literally draws a little Escher sketch along the wall before finally hitting you. And then another lance of energy is going to strike out at Genefevre. Her resolve is a 21. That has no effect. And then poor Ramiki, who, while incredibly stubborn, is not quite that stubborn. She's actually in the same ballpark that that Alexandri is. So she's going to take 3 as well and squawk. And again, there's literally going to be this, the blast of energy literally just kind of hits the ground, scrolls around her, and eventually hits her. And there's literally this glowing track in the ground wherever it landed.
So I don't want to be really bad to myself, but I'm on a horse.
Yes, that problem. So why don't you make a... What skill do you think would be appropriate to convince the horse that being part of an electrical circuit is okay?
Presence. Stay right the fuck here.
Your name would be Gloopot. All right. So yeah, let's see that presence roll. I'm going to say your target number's 15. This is going to be hard.
Okay. I rolled another 19 on the d20.
Fantastic. Good job.
Plus 6. So
Yeah, so you are able to maintain
whatever that is.
control of you are able to maintain control of the critter. So yes, well-trained horse acts like a well-trained horse.
Thank you, well-trained horse.
bad horse, bad horse, bad horse. He's bad.
There we go. That's up to date. And that. And then, by the way, just so we're clear, during this period, V, you are literally unable to do anything as this scrolls by. You are just, it's just you are muted, by the way. Which is
As I assumed, yeah.
Yeah. And then it just folds up that little thing and disappears.
Does V remember that happened?
Oh yes,
Does he know
was
that
probably
it happened?
frustrated about the fact he couldn't barking turn it off. Like he's aware what just happened. Yes.
I mean, I'm screaming at Benno in my head. I glance. I do like just rotate at the hip to sort of look back at Alexandre, and check that I didn't, do great deals of harm.
As if trust issues with the song wasn't enough, now we've got a malfunctioning robot.
And Genevieve,
Lucas didn't see that.
The worry is that it's not so much malfunctioning as starting to function again.
Starting to function.
yeah, and Genevieve is going to cackle with glee. Yes, that's it. Unleash. And that brings us to Spider.
Yeah,
a spider.
I'm in an awkward mechanical spot, so
Get out of it.
I'm gonna
and come
do
back and help.
something. I'm gonna trust in the dice. That's all we got.
Part of the dice?
Heart of the dice. I have my disadvantage 5 prepared.
Just-
Spider is going to crawl quietly, stealthily to the other side of the roof.
Yep.
Take out his crossbow
Uh-huh.
and shoot this woman through the ice crystals in his eyes. Because if I try to resist the blindness, I can't move, so I can't see her at all. So we're just going to go with disadvantage for 4 because I get 1 advantage because she's in melee with
Yeah.
Robot Man.
There's no
Yeah.
way this could end badly.
So I gotta,
I mean,
well, this
you
is
know
the thing,
what?
right? The D20 could still roll a 19, and who cares if I get 2 1s on the D6s?
Yeah, exactly,
That's still
exactly.
some damage.
but it could be the other way round, though. That's the problem, really, isn't it?
But then the worst that happens is she has to deal with me again, and that's okay.
That's pretty bad.
It's
I don't know if you've thought about that. It's pretty bad.
Cool. This is my disadvantage 4 pile. I don't have your fancy camera, but let's see if this works.
Oh, you opened it at the 20
Wow.
you.
I sure fucking did. Oh no, I've got blue screen on. Oh no, there it is.
I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it.
I
I
believe
see it.
you. That's fantastic. Well done. Absolutely legendary clutch shot.
Wow.
Okay, wait. Unsurprisingly, the 2d6s are both 1s. So we'll keep
You have a D20 to start.
I sure do. So that's 22, and we're re-rolling. Another 16.
All right.
Wow.
That's 38.
Wow.
38.
38 versus her guard.
Correct.
Hang on a sec. That is 22 points of damage you've just done. Yet, Bolt basically, I just straight up. I think there's there's fletching. It basically goes through the back, through a shoulder, and I think the moment where V is aware that Spider is back is when the tip of the bolt comes out. It comes out through the front of her, through the front of her fancy robes, and you can just see the.
I need to apply a bane too. Right? Got over
Can
10.
we just appreciate how far Jasper's come in a year?
Well,
Yes.
you know what
He can
though?
hit things now.
The
From
only
being a
time
joke
I
in
think I've
combat.
rolled a natural 20 since we started Open Legend have been on disadvantage 4 attacks.
That's true.
You get, I'm just,
It was in
when
the
you need
very
them.
first episode, and this
Wow. That's true.
I don't
That's amazing.
recall any other D20 like 20s that I've rolled. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're I need to pick a bane, right? I wasn't expecting to hit, so I didn't have this prepared. Oh, you know what would be funny?
Oh.
I
Fear?
think she's blind.
Oh.
feared and blinded. Oof. Yep, sure thing.
I like that.
Yeah, literally.
I like that a
Yeah, she's literally blind with pain.
Yeah. Just
I absolutely adore that. I mean, 22 points slam drives the crossbow bolt. Literally, there's fletch sticking out the back and the tip sticking out the front. It's just, I think probably.
I'm sure there's like a more powerful one, but that one makes the most sense to me.
Yes,
So
it is absolutely the sort of tit for tat that Spider can completely believe Spider would get involved in. I think
it.
probably the article of concern to V is the fact that she has a crossbow bolt sticking out of her. The fletching is sticking out the back, the tip is sticking out from her chest, and her reaction was, "Oh,
Yeah. I mean, that concerned Alexandre, i.e. me.
And juicing hard. Hit her. We've done some big hits.
Yeah. Yeah, you did a big one last round too, right? You had over
I
4.
rolled so many 6s.
Yeah.
I wanted more. Feels greedy,
Lucas,
and
get
I
back
don't
here.
care.
Come on, Lucas. We need you.
Fear is the worst, hey.
Fear is awful.
Mind killer.
This is like, it's that classic thing, right? You know, hurting or killing your players isn't the worst thing you can do, but taking away their agency is the worst.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's actually normally it's not. I don't like crowd controlling the players mechanically. I know as a player, I don't find it fun to sit out a battle, particularly one where I know how late you guys are up, but mechanically, because of who she is and what she represents, it is thematically the right answer.
Sense.
As much as it, for lack of a better way of putting it, this is sort of leaving a bad taste in my mouth, but it is thematically the right answer, and I do apologize.
No, don't apologize. Like, there is a appropriate level of frustration that bleeds between the character and the player that's like makes sense.
I mean, she's a boss. She should be frustrating.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And there's one of her and many of us. And like, if she doesn't crowd control, we're going to steamroll.
Yeah. So, Lucas, the first thing you're going to do is move 60 feet. I think the only thing that is going to make rational sense for you is to run into the light. Does that make sense to you?
Well,
because you're still feared, right?
Yeah, I just want to get away.
Right. So we're going to say 10, 20, 30 will put you here. I think you are literally going to run up to the steps of the temple.
Okay.
10, 20, 30 will put you here. And then I would like you to make a perception check with advantage 1, please.
Ooh. Perception. Need to find perception. Sweet. With advantage, 19.
19. Okay, you are going to gain... So what you are going to feel as you run up to the steps of the Beggar's Temple, you are terrified. You have seen a future where whoever this woman is, she slaughters your friend, she levels this city, and leaves it a cindered graveyard. And you know that there's nothing you can do to stop it, and you run blindly up onto the steps of the Beggar's Temple. And as you charge up these stairs, you're going to hear an absolutely calming voice. And it is going to be... It's not going to be your mother, but it's got that same "you're safe here" moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so you gain a +1 to all. You gain advantage 1 on all of your saving throws while you're on the while you're within 20 feet of the Beggar's Temple. 30 feet. Sorry, that's 3 squares. My apologies.
Oh, nice. Great.
This is a place of sanctuary from the perils and wearies of the world.
Oh, great. Awesome. Thanks.
So, so that is your fear resolved. So now you can actually try and make your saving throws against the effects affecting you.
Okay. So it's only fear that I've got left.
All right. So you're going to roll that one. You're going to roll your fear check with advantage 1.
Okay.
So it's, you roll 2d20, take whichever one is above 10.
Well, they were both above 10.
Fantastic.
Yes. 19.
Yeah,
19.
so I think, like I say, you're going to get there, you're going to have that... And the steely resolve of your duty as an Angweir, and knowing that literally the power of whatever religion this is with you at this moment. It's not the song, it is something else. It is powerful. That's really awkward, Chantal.
Yeah, I know. What are you going to do?
And yes, you are going to be able to go back to battle next round.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
That is Lucas. That is going to bring us to Alexandre. Way back over here. Let me recenter the camera.
We're going to have to deal with whatever just happened with V at some point. Mm-hmm. But now is not that time.
check the warranty.
I would if I had the original packaging.
I'm just going to say Grommer still got that probably.
Look, she
didn't give it
she
to
got
me.
me secondhand. It's not. That's not a thing.
She threw out
Hate
the
it when a
box.
warranty. She threw out the box and the warranty ran out. What are you supposed to do?
It's been 50 years.
Man, planned obsolescence. What are you going to do? Please no. Question. Actually, what did that do to the song?
What did what do to the song? Oh, make a perception check, please. Disadvantage one. Something electrocution, rearing horse.
That'll do it. Yep, I understand. 21.
Fantastic. Good job. I think there was a moment when... Remember I keep quoting destructive orchestral passages to you every time Genevieve does something? Yeah, it happened again when that light went off.
No. Choose another option.
No, I won't.
No.
Yes.
Why? No, please.
All right.
No.
So what's
Okay, I would like to.
do.
Going to restore. Restore to factory. No, not factory settings. Let's not do that. I'm going to cast.
You just saw a glimpse of factory settings. I'm not sure you want that.
Now I'm scared. Because I want to cancel Banes of Power level 5 or less. But like, what if who Chevalier is right now is a Bane?
Awkward. I mean,
I guess we'll find out, right? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because it just cancels all Banes that are power level 5 or less, if I can get it. Yes, I do. I do get it. That's a 19 on the die plus 5. That's 24.
All right. What is the area of that? Or is it just single target?
It is single target, but it cancels all Banes on V.
All right.
So he no longer has Phantasm, Disarmed, or Fatigued. I don't know how Disarmed works, but you know.
Okay, so he Disarmed is mechanical. He will literally have to go get his weapon.
Yes, but there will be nothing impeding that.
Correct.
The boon goes away. The bane goes away. Doesn't stick around. It's instantaneous.
Yeah.
Right. So no Phantasm, no Fatigue.
Right.
That's my turn.
All right.
I stand. Still I stand.
I think Genevieve is going to...
Run away.
No, actually not yet. She's just that kind of bitch.
Doesn't she have to?
She is going to look around, and she's going to look up at Spider and grin.
Can't see.
Oh, she's blind. Oh, she's blinded and feared.
She's
She has to-
blinded
Yes.
and afraid. She has to run and she has
Can't
to.
take other actions other than running away.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank
she can
you.
only
I had
run.
totally forgotten. Thank you. All right. So the first thing she needs to
I suggest back through the portal.
actually, that's exactly what she's going to do. I need to make a perception
Yes.
check. So basically, it's relatively straightforward, but it's possible she'll screw it up. Perception.
I suggest into a wall missing the portal.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what she gets. So her perception is 3d8. She has disadvantage 1 on it, I believe, because she's blind. And she starts out with a 5, which is an excellent position for you guys. That's a 1.
I mean,
That's another
if
one.
it's just sight, she just fails.
Yes, but she also can hear the portal. She also knows where she's been.
Fair. Yeah.
So.
That's a big disadvantage 5.
Spatial
Or
awareness.
other senses,
Yeah.
not including magic.
Yeah. So all total,
she can use those
she
as well.
gets a 9, which is exactly not enough to be able to actually accurately find the portal. So that's awkward because yes, her literally it was okay. Screw that, I'm out of here. Was sort of the terrified reaction was, why would you fight under these conditions? Retreat to a safe place. She misses the portal.
Does she run into the rope and fall down? Can she do that? Because that would be hilarious.
I mean, I'm a hitter, but she tries to run away.
Oh, that's a good point.
Does fear provoke attacks of opportunity?
I believe it does, because they're...
Really?
I know, this is a mechanics question, because I know some systems, like Suede, forced movement does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
I think fear isn't... It's true, that's the case, but fear isn't forced movement.
Well, it is. She has to move. She has no choice.
But it's not like it's different from like if I use the like forced move.
Oh, okay, I get
Bane,
it.
I'm pushing you to move. Or if I use telekinesis, I'm pushing you to move. She's still choosing to move. She can't make another choice, but she has still made the choice. I think we had this conversation with Great Moustache.
Okay,
yeah. Actually,
he was like, it's a fun little thing you can do, and it's like, oh.
Page 92. It's one of the examples it's given.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh.
All right, cool.
So it is Fleeing Terror. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
So she's going to. I think she's just going to run due south, because that's about the only angle she can move and miss the portal. It doesn't involve running into Chevalier, and she can hear Chevalier. So yeah. So yes, Chevalier will get a parting swing, as it were.
It's not as good as the others have been. That's just 12.
At 12, that is a miss.
Yeah.
This is going to get really awkward for her in a hurry. Just give me a sec here. So she moves 30 feet of movement. So 10, 20, 30 gets her there. She's going to have to move at least 15 more feet, which will put her there. The question is whether or not she runs into the building or whether or not she notices that. Basically, if she can realize the building is there before she gets there. Because otherwise that's just going to be awkward for her. So
that's yeah.
She does have another sense that she's using, but but yeah. So she gets the roll, but a third. Okay, she needs to make a 15. She may not make this roll. That's a 5. So she keeps the 4. I'm going to re-roll the 5, and she rolled a 4. So. Yes, okay, so she does not slam into the wall. She basically is running ahead, basically with her hands out, sort of running by braille as you were, and you can see this sort of glittering trail of iridescence ahead of her fingers, and she sort of doesn't quite run into the wall and then veers at an angle. I'm going to get her to make a learning roll to see if she remembers which way this street she's only glanced at goes, because if she runs the wrong way, she's probably screwed. So let's see what she comes up with. So that's an exploding 8 and a 19. Yes, she knows which way the road goes. I don't need to go any further than that. So she's actually going to... so she's got 15 feet of movement left. So 10, 15 gets her there. Then she can start making resistance rolls. All right, I just need to double check something. All right. Okay, so... so she needs to make so she has 2 effects on her. Blind. So I'm going to roll the fear first. And that is a 5. She remains feared. And that is a 7. She remains blinded.
Sucks to be her.
Mm-hmm.
How does she feel now?
Not so fun. Does she have a "is this what I've been doing to people" moment?
Absolutely.
Am I the bad guy?
No, she knows she's the bad guy. She's very aware of the fact she's the bad girl. All right.
Come to song. Come to song.
Ramiki has to make a will roll. Ramiki has to make a will check. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, she says.
She's already been told to run.
Yes, exactly. And the smart thing to do is run, but then there's Ramiki.
How a failure is Ramiki.
Yes, she rolls a 14 on 10. She's going to so she's going to actually do the right thing. And nasty lightning throwing, rope darting, evil tramp. So she's going to use her action to get onto the horse, and then will use her and then use her movement to keep riding. So she does not double move this round. So 10, 20 gets her there, and 30 will get her there. So she's riding off, and then it's Genevieve's action again. So she is going to continue moving because she can. So 10, 20, 30. 10, 20 gets her there, and 30 gets her to this corner. And then she gets another resistance check. Failed fear, made blindness.
Well, she can't resist blindness.
Oh, okay. I thought it was on any of her actions.
It's a move action.
Sorry, it is a move action. Yeah.
Is the resist, and she can only use her move actions to move.
Okay, got it.
So she has no choice.
Resisting fear is automatic.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened on my turn. Is I couldn't resist blind.
Okay, so I'm totally lost. Did she pass the first roll, which I think was the fear roll? I
don't think so.
No, so she didn't pass the fear roll, but and
then the blindness roll she can't make because she's feared. Okay, got it.
Yeah, because
already used her movement thing.
Yeah. Okay, so then she is going to hang on a sec here. We're going to zoom the camera out because I just realized
I'm not sure if she gets. It's not a whole turn. It's just another major action, isn't it? When she gets the extra stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so she can only move 30 feet. She's basically obligated to use her major action to run away from you, though. So this will be her second.
Yeah. So each one she has to keep.
So that'll be her second. Her second boss phase will get her to there. Then she gets to make the next roll. Let me try and find her on the map because Michelle is bad at this game. Oh, there she is. There we are, and zoom in. So she's basically racing along the edges of buildings, desperately trying to get away from you people. So let's see here. Okay, so this is versus fear. And she finally rolls a 13.
I love how through all of this, we're all just standing there going, or else she's moving incredibly fast. I'm not sure which is happening. Are we all standing there going,
We lost sight of her for a while. So just goes around the corner and goes, how did she get there?
On her last action, she can actually not move and try and resist the blind. And rolls a 9. She stays blind. Okay, that explains. I was just going to say, so that seals that question. All right. Let me just double check. I need to find out. No, that is not an incidental. Shikasta will use a full action for that. Okay, got it. All right, that brings us back up to you, Lot. So she has just literally vanished. She charges off into the darkness with this little, like I say, with this obvious magical effect trailing away from her fingers, this red-blue iridescence. And I think probably the most pronounced thing that happens is as soon as she gets around the corner, this happens. the portal collapses, and the miasma, which has been sort of highlighting the space, disappears. So obviously enough, the awkward problem here is that I don't. Well, any of you have night vision?
Half elf? Mm.
Did you buy? Okay, keep in mind the racial abilities aren't a thing. So did you buy a hat?
I don't.
Did you any of you buy the equivalent of night vision?
No, didn't know it was a thing, so I did not.
I think it's. I think there's actually an ability.
Might be a perk.
I think it's a perk. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't buy that one. That's fine.
And that's cool. Like I say, because the whole idea is to get away from the
Yeah, I had no idea.
So yeah. So in this case, does Chevalier have it? I know Chevalier's got immunity to a whole bunch of little details like needing to breathe and eat.
He doesn't. I don't have. Ability to see.
So what you basically have got is, unless stated otherwise, unless you're basically near a light, the map is what you can see. In fact, I think you guys have got technically more vision than you're supposed to have. Let me just double check.
Which direction did we see which direction she turned before she went into the darkness? Or is it just south all the way?
Yeah, we just saw her go south, and then I just saw her go south, and then she went slightly west and disappeared.
Yeah. So I've got your.
Around the corner at the intersection, just kept going south until we lost track of her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Realistically speaking, Alexandria could find her because she's a bloodhound. But that's not what Alexandria is going to be doing.
I'm just going to say, then becomes the question
moment.
about whether or not you guys want to continue fighting this woman. She's clearly all. You guys have clearly hit her like a ton of bricks. But the flipper to that is she also is still standing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it up to you guys what makes sense here. I'm just adjusting.
I don't like the idea of letting her get away.
Yeah.
I also don't know what we could do about that.
What Alexandra's going to do in this moment is slide down off the horse. Mm-hmm. Just slide down to the ground and curl up because she's gone. The portal's gone. There are dead things around. Yeah. They're just, half-eaten people. Lucas has disappeared. Spider is presumably somewhere because a crossbow bolt came out, and she's just like.
Mm-hmm. All right. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on a second. So, technically, it is V's action. What is V going to do?
I think in that moment he probably race forward as much as I can, maybe scoop up my weapon. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be pretty apparent that I have no idea where
10,
she is.
20, 30 will get you there. You have the hammer in hand.
Potentially, yeah. Actually, probably doesn't pick up the hammer. Instead, he draws an axe.
Okay.
But it's also pretty immediately apparently it's just no idea where.
I'm just going to get him off the map entirely.
Where she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just sort of just heads back towards Alexandria.
All right.
We'll say his movements are probably I guess almost more predatory than they normally are. Like normally it's very sort of efficient. This is like there was like this like low sort of like bolting charge. And then he sort of pulled himself up. Yeah.
And that brings us to Spider. What's Spider doing?
Shaking off the ice crystals, hopefully?
Let me do this. Let me do this a different way. Are we dropping out of combat time?
I would try and spot her running through the streets if I can get that.
No, absolutely. Okay, so go ahead and try and shake off your blindness.
I mean, I already rolled the d20. Do I have to roll it again? I got a 17.
You got a 17, then you've shaken off the blindness for sure.
All right. Then I'll try and spot her running away from me.
All right, so roll ridiculously high on perception, I guess is the best answer I've got for you.
That's yep. How do legend points work again?
Legend points, you have 1 and the group has 2. For every one you spend, it gives you advantage 1 and a +1.
And a +1.
So if you use your legend point, then it's your roll +1 plus advantage 1. Or sorry, it's advantage 1. If you get like a 10, then the +1 would make it an 11, right? If you use 2 legend points, then it goes from, and you roll a 10, then it winds up at 12.
Yeah, and I've got advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely use mine. How's the gang feel about using more legend points here? I think 1's fine.
Okay.
Which means I need 2d8. Okay. Math is hard at 2 a.m. 17 plus 7. 24. I did it. I counted.
Yep, 24.
Oh, no, and the +1. And the +1.
25.
25.
I just need to actually double check something. That might fall into the category of high enough. Where's my aid memoir? 25. 25 is an epic. It's translated text in alien language, breakdown in Iron Door. It is... So 30 is a literal legendary action, right? It includes, leaping a 25-foot chasm, befriending an enemy that has a vendetta against you, are legendary type things. I think epic literally is that from a... you hear chanting. You cannot see her. There is no way for you to have straight line of sight on this woman. That's just not a thing. I think, however, with a 25, in the stillness that falls, the portal has collapsed, the sounds of battle drain away, the sounds of Ramiki fleeing on horseback, clip-clopping, galloping away into the darkness. There's this... And your eyes, having been taken away from you for so long, even though your vision returns, it's your ears that tell her that she's somewhere down the side street out to the east.
Okay.
Sorry, to the west. My apologies, out to the west.
So I can hear her chanting.
Yep.
Talk to me about trying to make this blind shot in the darkness. Is it possible?
Roll a 30.
Roll a 30.
You're literally firing by sound. It's
I get
click.
That. Are there disadvantages involved?
Actually, something? No, it's not roll a 30 because that's not how this game system works. It is disadvantage 4 versus her disadvantage 5 versus her guard.
Right, so it's like being blind.
And then whatever the distance works out to be. What is the range on your bow?
Well, I mean, she can't have run more than 120 feet in her turn.
Right.
So
what's the range on your bow?
I mean, they don't give ranges in this, but
okay, yeah, they do.
not on mine. It's a heavy crossbow. I assume it's about 300.
Okay, so at worst, she's just going to say medium range at worst. Just let me check the year here. It's in the...
Range is 125.
Okay,
125.
So she's still in short range, no disadvantage. So it's literally you go, she's there, and click.
And I'm just...
Disadvantage 5. Let's see it.
All right. I'm going to do it because it's what I think Spider would do.
Absolutely. I love
you roll
the
a 20, like...
disadvantage. He doesn't know that I'm taking this shot, surely.
No, absolutely not.
She has no idea.
That's
Then
actually why I'm
then it's
letting you.
disadvantage.
That's why I'm letting you make the shot.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
She's literally a stationary target who thinks she's gotten away with all this, except for you pesky kids.
This is madness. Why am I doing this? Here we go. All right. We got a 1 and a 2 on the D6s and an 18. So that's a total of 21.
With your disadvantages.
Yeah. I got a 2 and a 1 from the disadvantages and an 18 on the D20.
Oh, shit.
Versus her guard, you hit her for 2 points of
Okay.
damage.
All right.
That
also
also damage as well.
For three, you do 3 points of damage. So I'm just going to say, so literally, he's going to stand up, look around, clack, and and the only person who's going to hear this is, "Oof."
And stay out.
You want her to come back?
Has this been caused? Is this causing lethal damage as well?
Yeah, I just remembered that. It's like from my first attack and this attack, she would now have 8 lethal damage on it.
Good grief. Okay, that's hysterical.
Well, I thought her guard was a 16 before.
Yeah, her guard's an 18. No, wait a second. I'm
okay.
looking at the wrong character sheet. My apologies. One moment. Her guard is a 16. Yes,
That's 5 damage, not 3.
5.
but-
Okay.
So she has 10 points of lethal damage on her.
Good.
Really want like that to have been like 3 damage and kill her, but 5 damage does. It's just
Actually, what it does is it gets her to 71 out of 72.
Oh,
Chase her.
so
Chase, run.
close.
Go.
can't move. That's why I took the
Can't
blind shot,
move.
because I had to spend my move action getting the
But
crystals.
you know
in.
what? For 10 days, she's
got other
damaged.
worries. She has other.
She's got
worries.
she's got things to heal up, just like Lucas, for the next 10 days.
10 lethal. Good grief, you guys.
1 damage short. That
Yeah,
sounds about
that
right.
is spectacular. That's twice. That's the third time you guys have done that in this fight. One of the one of the guys only one of the street gangers only had 1 or 2 health left after the major hit. And then one of the wolves only had 1 or 2 points of damage after a major whomp. And yeah, she's literally 1. Oh my gosh, I'm just staggered that you hit her. That's amazing. Good job. That is just
yeah, I mean-
narrative. Fun.
Just the fact that you hit.
It's like, roll a 16 on the D20 and just take the shot.
That's I just love it. All right. So unless so then it's Alexander. Okay. So mechanically, what's going to happen is becomes Lucas's turn. Alexandria, I don't think literally can run fast enough to get into line of sight with her. At which point Genevieve is just going to use essentially her escape button and teleport out. So she will literally she's done. At the point she cannot shake off this blind, she's not going to continue fighting you, Law. So she will.
Does she need to be able?
No, she doesn't need to be. No, it's there's no requirement to be.
There's
able
no
to
visual.
She's
Yeah.
casting a spell on herself. She knows where she is.
Right.
So yeah. So she will be gone. So we're just gonna drop out of combat time. So if you have a Bane on it, it is removed. No need to hang on to it. And yeah. So the group will regather over, I presume, where Alexandria is. It's
once the
So-
combat has finished, there's like and it's technically sort of like, I guess, like 18 seconds or whatever.
yeah.
Whatever 3 rounds is. And then the extra armor just sort of recedes
Yeah.
back into,
Yep. And
at
in
which
that
point
time, Lucas will
just drops to one knee. He just like collapses a bit
Yeah, and
before sort of staggering up. And
Yep, got it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I apologize. And Lucas will rejoin you as basically at about the same time. Mechanically, the distance lines up properly.
Yep. And narratively, Lucas collapses.
yeah.
I made it.
Pink Spider just rolls over.
Where is she?
I don't think I killed her. She got away. Just lying on the cobblestones.
Yep.
Go and look at the sickle. Was it a sickle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sort of picks it up and
It is, like I say, once upon a time, this was probably a sacred object. It was crafted of silver. It is made, the handle is heartwood. There is a, what was a very pretty sapphire as the pommel, and it was no doubt used for harvesting sacred herbs. And ever since she's gotten her hands on it, it has become a weapon of destruction. The edge is jagged and notched. The gem has dimmed. The wood has soaked blood. The silver is tarnished. It is desecrated in every way you can possibly imagine.
It's from Miki.
She ran away.
Okay. That could be worse.
Lucas gets up and says, I'll go find her.
No.
And then he goes to where? Point me.
No.
What is, okay, why is Alexandria saying no? I'm just curious here before I do something.
Because Alexandria doesn't know that Genevieve is actually gone.
It.
So, no. There's a no that she will stand in front of Lucas and just like put her hands on her and be like, no, you're not going anywhere. You're not moving.
Still brutally wounded.
I think
Yeah.
I'm going to do something. I'm going to import something from the Star Wars RPG. You guys are going to earn a legend point just so I can narratively be silly. Because yeah, in the Star Wars RPG, the GM can narratively jump in and alter the plot by flipping a destiny point. And I'm just going to give you guys a legend point because you're going to hear Lucas is standing up, you know, bound and determined to do his duty, and you're going to hear chink, chink, chink coming down the street, and a voice say, "I've got her." And Ramiki will be walking alongside a particular Anguir.
Oh, no.
I brought help, she says. And that's where we'll leave it for this week.
Thanks, Ramiki. Thanks. Ramiki.
I have been. Ramiki is happen.
Ramiki, please. Ramiki, why? Why would you do this?
Good job, folks. I didn't think you guys could beat her. Particularly not when you got that badly split up.
Yeah, I was prepared for the, like, how do we break out of prison kind of arc coming next.
Oh.
I mean, we got
I was prepared for the let's go bring people back from the dead arc coming next. But okay, sure, if you want to go prison. I'll be over here.
Someone has shiny new wooden floors and likes to show off now.
Yeah.
God.
Emotionally exhausting.
Thank you.
like that she went from
that is high
don't like that she
praise.
went. Don't like that she's progressed from like introductory fight to boss in the same time period that we've developed. That we're in the same as we literally was the first fight. So in the same time period from when we had that first fight, she's become much more powerful than we have.
Well, yeah, because she's not having to split the XP 4 or 5 ways, right?
She's murdering her party members.
For extra XP, yeah. I mean,
The extra, yeah. But the fun thing is, Alexandria learns every time she sees people do stuff. So it's gonna be fun.
so yeah, I will,
Yeah, do we get
posting
some XP? This feels like we should get some XP.
Absolutely. This is
We haven't had any in
so. Let's just talk about that. Actually, it's a very good place to wrap up. Let me because this book, it's the one thing I do not like about the PDF version of this book, is it is very badly indexed. Running the game, rewarding the players, 103, which is not 103. There we go. All right. Big milestones. Every XP that players reward grants them 1 feat point and 3 attribute points, and 3 XP rewards results in a new level. It's so yes. Let's see.
Currently,
When was the last time we've done XP for you folks?
when we got to the city, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did,
when we
did we
arrived.
get one? Did we get like one when we got to the city and 2 later or something?
Something like that.
I
Something
think, yeah, I think
tipped us from 2 to 3.
Yeah, I think at this point, your adventures in the city have included the successful sorting out of dealing with what was the heist, right, of the urn.
Yeah, we definitely.
The cultural adventure, we'll call it that, as well as the big reveal about who Quidian might be out at the estate. And now you've just literally fought off a street gang, three greater Werekin and their mistress. I think I'm just going to straight up say you guys are now level 4, 3 XP.
Yeah, that's big.
So that's so yeah. I'm just going to say 3 XP because so that's 3 feat points and 9 attribute points you guys get. So 3 XP brings you up to level 4.
Does this game have like that classic thing where you have to rest before you like can apply the XP? Or?
I'm going to say yes, but I also suspect at the point that some of you have taken lethal damage. Unless you intend on getting into a fight with Lancium next session, I suspect rest will be high on the agenda.
Look, I don't think it ended, but I'm not going to say it won't happen.
Just a couple of days,
You guys
get
are
all
literally going
that
to-
lethal damage.
Yeah, you guys are literally going to need to take a deep breath, compose yourselves, and everything. But essentially, as soon as you guys have a chance to get a night's sleep and a meal into you, you will be 4th level. Yes, so you can start pre-planning how your spends are going to work. All right,
Yeah.
there you go.
Lucas needs like 2 weeks off. It's just like
What's your
I need
level
5
in
days.
creation?
5 days.
What's your level in creation?
Mine,
Okay.
5.
What's
Right
your
now,
fortitude,
5.
Drew?
1.
Oh, okay. Take it back. Yeah, it's like 3-4 days.
It's fortitude, right? Yeah, I've got decent fortitude.
So
I'll get every day I'll get 4 HP back just by sleeping.
So if we leave you in Alexandre's care, it's another 5.
Yeah.
yeah, because of the basically her creation abilities. She can't combat heal you, but she can over time heal you.
Okay. So
He's going to
3
sit
days.
next to you and sing, basically.
3 days. So it'll take 2 days. We'll get most of it back, but then we'll need that 3rd day for the last 2 hit points.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That was awesome. Thank you so much, folks.
That was amazing. That was fun.
Good. What did you think of the map? Did it help?
I don't know if I needed it. It didn't detract. It just didn't do more.
Okay. Because I know, when we first started out with the D&D game, I know there was, you guys were just over the moon about the, sort of the environments and things like that,
Oh,
the maps and stuff.
yes.
But then when we started Open Legend, we moved away with that thematically because we're just because it was just a different style because of Eric's channel was this sort of free form open space. So now that we sort of tasted both, what I was just curious is which flavor do you guys like
Oh, no.
in the campaign?
I love Foundry. I think it's really beautiful. I think it's a really pretty program.
Yeah, I love what you created.
I love what you've made. I just don't think for this particular combat it was particularly helpful.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, I
It
just don't
definitely
think
felt
we
like-
needed it now, but it's really
Yeah,
good
positioning
looking.
was less important against the one person than it was against like the 3
Yep. Fair enough. Yep.
Yes.
wolves, I guess.
It just felt like especially in the first maybe hour of the session. It felt like the technology was getting more in the way than it was.
Yeah, and that's entirely because I made a bad design decision. I made everything as I very carefully outlined every building with solid walls, completely forgetting that you'd be standing on top of all of the buildings, and therefore they wouldn't count. So that was just me. I should have used a different setup. So that was just a bad decision on my part. I just need to keep in mind that that's a thing in urban environments. There is no such thing as cannot see over because you're around. In a dungeon that's different. But yes, okay. Like I say, because if you guys like that, then I'll do more of it, and if you don't care, then I won't. So let me know over the week what you like.
About it and chatting about it off stream as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
all right.
We'll have a chat with it.
Cool. So that brings us up to that time of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. As the chap who got the least amount of airtime because he was running away terrified, say goodbye, Drew.
Well, everyone, you can see me. I'm Drew. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at Drew Wilson. See you next week.
Very good. Sam?
Yeah, you can find me. I'm Sam. You can find me on Twitter at the _ RealSammy. Voice acting and performing and whatnot. I do want to. I was talking about it in the chat. I do want to quickly spruik. My brother has just launched a Kickstarter.
Oh, fantastic!
For a natural sunscreen company. It's literally the natural sunscreen company, but it's all about like a friend of his couldn't find a good sunscreen that didn't aggravate, but also didn't like add a lot of waste. So they made one. So it's a lot of like all natural stuff. It's Australian made, biodegradable container, and all like half their profits will go to ocean conservation.
That is fantastic. All right.
So there's just put out a Kickstarter, so it's Natural Sunscreen Co.
Very
on
cool.
Kickstarter.
Yeah. Right then. And Jamie.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Jamie James Collette. You can find me on Twitter at Muffin Manifesto or on my website, jamie-collette.com. And you can also check out streamedshakespeare.com, where I recently directed Richard III, including the wonderful Drew Wilson in the cast, wherever he is on the screen.
That way, yes. That way, yes. Chantal.
I'm Chantal B. You can find me at Chantal B on Twitter. I am a writer. I'm going to say game designer because that's kind of the thing I'm doing now.
Yes.
Actor. Yeah,
Yeah.
And a psych person. You can find me on Twitter, hang out, chat, psych stuff. You can also find me on Monday at action_fiction on Twitter at 7 p.m. for Castle Falkenstein, where we do some like really great gaming. It's nearly 3 a.m. Can you tell? You can also find me sometimes at any_actors channel on Twitch for some Good Society, which we're still playing, but like we're all desperately busy, but we will again soon, I hope, because I have lots of corsets and I have to use all of them now.
Well,
so
yes, that's what they're for.
That you don't buy a corset and not use it. So like we need to play.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I am Michel Vaillancourt. You can catch up with me on Twitter, MichelV69. I love to talk about gaming. I, of course, am the storyteller and games master for this fantastic crew. This is the Lost Worlds Archive. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're catching us on the VOD or later or real time, we deeply appreciate you hanging out. If you have a moment, please press the follow and subscribe. We would love to be able to bring you more stories as we make our way through this fantastic world. I guess the next thing that we'll have to do once we deal with Lancium is figure out where are you guys off to next. You've may or may not still have a ticket to the underground. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Thank you very much, everyone. That's it for us for a week. We will see you in a week's time, and the adventures will continue. Bye-bye.
Adventures will continue until morale improves.